Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
We're getting closer and closer when it comes to the chase. And tonight, the full-length Cup Challenge gets itself more short-track racing. Tonight, we visit Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia for tonight's coverage of the Strawberry Hill 400 here at Maconi Entertainment. It should be an interesting night as these drivers look to keep clean at the action track. Welcome to tonight's coverage. I'm Justin Prince alongside the booth for tonight's Kirk Mills. Our producer this evening is Morgan Cook for tonight's coverage from Richmond. Tonight's expected to get interesting with it being in our short track on the docket and our 3/4 of a mile on distance, Kirk. But the difference is one track like Iowa was described by many as driving like an intermediate. This is definitely a track that's short, that drives like a short track.
Yeah, when you're behind the wheel, you got to have a lot of patience. It takes a long time for the car to rotate in turn 1 and 2. Going to 3 and 4 of that car, you got to keep it right on the bottom of the racetrack to be fast, and we're going to see a lot of cars fight to get to that bottom, and a lot of cars up at the front. Lap times are near identical. You blink an eye and all the top 10 can just fly by. I think tonight's going to be a real test of your patience.
I think it will be, and it's going to be a test for a lot of the drivers, especially in their quest for the chase. Because right now, after Iowa, Sean Conklin, of course, 9 wins on the season in the first 25 says a lot. But look at that cut line. Robert Miller, race winner, just 5 points ahead of Tyler Hunter. Tanner Marti slipped back in recent months. Casey Graves is down -25. Dale Pearson around those -28. So there's a lot of pressure for some of those drivers to get above 16.
I think the majority of the people in that screen, though, that have a chance of winning a championship are like 8th, 9th on up. It's going to be so hard to win from further back. That cut line's there, yeah, sure, but I don't know if you can make it from 16th to win the championship at the end of the year. You're going to need a lot of help.
It's not impossible, but it's very improbable based on the point tallies you expect in a series like this. Absolutely. But the driver's getting very chatty over the radio. After all, the Sports 350 was controlled by one person out with a sports scheme, despite being owned by a sports conglomerate, for their Coke reference. Of course, we're talking Sean Conklin, another weekend where a Ryco car took control and kept it.
Yeah, it was really actually kind of surprising. He came back from 2 laps down to win that race. The guy was he had to serve a penalty in the beginning. He kept getting all these rocks thrown at him, but he overcome adversity and was able to win the race at the end. Tire strategy was everything, but he did a great job, no doubt about it.
Definitely so, but it kind of says a lot on his runs where he's only been outside the top 10 7 times all season. And mind you, that is factoring in 5 times he missed races due to various center commitments here on the season. In other words, he's done a lot to control these races. But remember, a few weeks ago, we had qualifying within the session added for this series. 33 attempted to qualify for tonight's coverage as we get set to go from Richmond Raceway for a late evening into the nighttime type of night. As this field gets all credit up, it's Joseph Gallardo. Remember, last year he was strong here. Looking to start alongside Sean Conklin. They're separated by 27 1,000s on quality speed. Matthew David Woods down to the 3rd spot tonight. Robert Miller, we talked about him on the cut line, slipped out of 16th and 4th right now for the grid. Dylan Basins inside the top 5, second in the points. Adam Benefiel will start amongst those up front. He dropped 3 spots after last week. Andrew Dyson's in 7th tonight. Lucas Hoitzma will bring his 97 car for the 8th position tonight. Cameron Stone will be in top 9 positions with Tiger Cat on the car, with Alex Murray in 10th.
Starting 11th this afternoon will be Hunter Truel in the 71 alongside Jonathan Delaney in that 12th position. 13th will be Alan Duggar driving that 10 machine alongside the 19 of Ralph Hutchinson starting 14th. 15th will be Nicholas Roman starting in that 95 right alongside Corey Moore in the 42 starting 16th. 17th will be Neil Pearson in the 62 alongside Paul Hill in the 26th. And then finally starting 19th and 20th is Stephen Williams and Michael S. Tucker, respectively.
Throw back to 21st. That's where Brandon Hastings, his team picked up a truck win earlier today. Bobby Anderson is in 22nd tonight in a Fruit Loops paint scheme. Casey Craves in 23rd. Devin Medeiros will be down in 24th tonight. These drivers 3/10 off the pole. Evan Mesnard and Tanner Marty need to pick up spots. Still have to work from the back. 25th, 26th. 27th goes the way of Sean O'Brien Jr. Throwing into the mix as well, William Owens in 28th. Then you throw back at our group, Jason S. Taylor and Noah Hodgson. He still has a sports scheme, but he was 4/10 off the pole tonight. A bit of a shocker for the 12. That leaves a couple more cars left. Cliff Mullins and Tyler Hunter towards the tail. And your field is closed out by Jose Medina. 6/10 from top to bottom. Quick keys to victory.
I gotta say, man, the number one thing is patience. 70 laps on stage 1, stage 2, 230. Pace car on pit road. Reach down, pull them belts tight. One more time from Richmond through that restart zone. Biggity, biggity, biggity. Let's go racing, boys.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. 3 different drivers got penalties, Kirk, on the start.
I have no idea, but the battle for the lead starting to heat up. You see the outside 99 trying to block the 17 out of the way. He's going to hang on to the lead as the 17 tries to pull in. We're looking into those penalties right now.
Penalties got cleared. They are cleared, so that is taken care of. I don't think that got to Michael S. Tucker, though, because he went down to serve the penalty, even though it just got cleared. So he just got some bad luck. I don't know if I've seen both the front row cars get a jump start penalty before, Kirk.
Ever, no. I've never seen both. That is a problem, maybe. I mean, they might need to look into that for sure. I feel bad for Tucker. I mean, he had himself a decent qualifying day. He's, you know, in a rough position. Everybody's trying to get filed in for the first laps of the race. Already chaos to start this thing.
And as you said, the stage going to be to 70 to start things off here tonight. There's a lot of these drivers, as you can see. Clean air, obviously a big thing about this track, but you're seeing a few drivers at least try the outside to make some moves, like Delaney. Trying to battle with drivers like Murray in the mix. You also throw Benefield just trying to hug the bottom right now.
I think the number one priority is sticking to the bottom, and that car you're looking at on your screen is the number one bottom feeder I've ever seen. He's able to run the bottom better than most folks. Adam Benefield, expect him to be good on the long run and be able to turn the car better on the bottom of the racetrack later in the run.
Basin hearing already got to the top 3 here as well. So he is quickly trying to keep up with his teammate up in front for the Ryco camp / RFK camp here in the field. And mind you, this is a track where, in theory, usually off the start you expect a bit of chaos, maybe in turns 1 and 2. A few drivers snap around at the back straightaway. So far, everyone looking pretty planted here to begin things off, at least on short run on these cold tires.
As the cars continue to keep going, I think that the biggest thing is just going to be getting into a rhythm, getting to the bottom of the racetrack. Like you said, it is cold tires, but they've already heated up after 8 laps. It should already be up to operating temperature, or at least nearing operating temperature for the race. And single file, except for right here, look at Neil Pearson, I believe, going to the inside of Corey Moore in the 42. That is a battle for, I believe, 17th. He's got it, moving up. And I think that 62 just wants to have a clean day. I think that's all he can really hope for.
I think that's the goal. Make sure you don't lose any points. You already got yourself basically in the lock category, if not already the chase. May as well pick up some more wins if you can, but obviously you're in a good spot. If you want to pursue a championship in a series, your team's prioritized. Talked about the Stone car tonight. Different sponsors, different looks on that machine. Usually, we've seen various different alcohol beverages, I guess you could say, on it. Tonight has the mix of black and gray as silver on the car tonight, trying to make some moves.
You know, that car, Cameron Stone, whenever I see him up front, it's normally on a short track. For some reason, he does well at tracks like Martinsville. He shows up at Bristol. He shows up at Richmond. We're seeing it again here today, and he's trying to make a pass on Andrew Dyson, one of the best at saving his tires. I think Dyson might be someone who might show up late in the run as well, but that 57 moving forward early.
Looking pretty stout, up 2 spots. It's not a lot, but knowing Hodgson, you would expect the one of the big movers because he's going to have to come for the back. Same for Tyler Hunter and similar pickups. Hodgson up about 5, Hunter up 4. Those are 2 drivers we've seen either in or looking to be in the West for the chase.
Oh, I see the 19 of Ralph Hutchinson making a move on the outside. He went around Benefield on the outside. He's pushing hard right now. One of the few cars I've seen make a pass on the outside line so far. Truel might follow him through.
Looking like he's trying to do so pretty swiftly. You can see how much the outside's able to at least keep up here in each of these battles, but usually it's a bottom feeder racetrack in other vehicles, especially the trucks. We've seen you can squeeze down, try and force someone to lift, burn up their stuff, but usually the better send you can get on the inside works. Today's kind of counterintuitive. Both lanes are pretty much equal with the setup, and as you can see with the track temperatures, it is below 100 right now for your track temp. May shuffle a fair bit as we see the air temp drop. It's still in the 80s.
It's a very cold track temp, though, compared to last week. Last week, we had over 130 degrees on the track at a couple points in the race. So, really colder. You're not going to see as much tire fall off, I don't think. But up front, again, already a second pulled out is Joseph Galata. Look at that. He's already starting to extend that lead. You don't get to see that every day, and he's been quick last week as well. He was fast, had a little bit of a problem that sent him towards the back, but him and Conklin and Basin just seem to be the top 3 that we've seen up front the last couple weeks.
Mind you, as everyone stays in this train, I think pretty securely you can say this field should start to splinter out, but the thing is, you know how wild this sounds? The entire field ran within 1/10 of each other last time by, from start to finish.
Really? Wow. I mean, that... I don't
Trouble back straight away. We have a spinner. Cliff Mullins brings us under caution for the first time tonight.
He wasn't within 1/10. He just had a problem on the back. Oh, no. What happened to Cliff here?
What did we say about the back straightaway? Coming off turn 2, you can snap around if you aren't too careful. I think that's just what happened here for the 44.
Got William Owens behind him. Let's see how that goes. 44 on his own, nobody around him. Off the corner is where it snaps loose. Yep, sure does. And he recovered. I don't think he hit much, if anything. And, man, you want to bring out a caution, that's how you do it.
Indeed. Puts us under caution. And, of course, Strawberry Hill, for those who don't know, is reference to a fact I looked towards in recent times. Did you know this was originally the site of the Atlantic Rural Expedition back around the 1940s? This was also of course, had the fairgrounds, had agricultural exhibition sites. It became the raceway complex afterwards over time, and at one point held steeplechase horse races specifically as part of the complex. Essentially, before it became stock cars, this was a track that had a lot of agricultural focused events at it before motorsports came into play. Of course, there's a lot of facilities that sound familiar to that, like Dover, for example, Kirk.
Oh, whoa, did you see that right there? Holy cow, sorry, on the racetrack, 99 in the 06 go down pit road, 17's like, not doing it, turned hard right, and barely missed the barrels. That was awesome.
Leaders coming down only 22 laps in. That's actually a fair bit. I'm curious what the idea is here, if we see them take tires or not, because this is... Fall off was very minimal, and they are taking Goodyear Eagles right now, Kirk. The fuel runs can go over 110 laps here.
I don't see a real reason that this was a decision unless there's a long run game where like they think they can make it to the end of stage 2 from here. I don't know. I don't see that as being the right thing, but oh man, I don't know if that was a good idea. Only time will tell, but now the 99, the 06, they both got to go from the back to the front. That's going to be fun to watch.
And don't forget, stage 2 is a lot longer than stage 1. We're talking near 200 laps. There, we didn't touch upon it as much at the start, but we have a lot of tire sets. Yeah, plenty of them you can burn, but you're talking about a stage of about 160 laps in stage 2 alone, and then that brings you to 170 to end the race. Still 1 stoppers at minimum in those stages, but that's not including potentials of cautions. And if you factor in potential fall off, since these drivers were already, in some cases, averaging 1 second of fall off so far.
Man, I can't tell you one way or another how this fall off is going to actually look. I'm thinking it's not going to matter much. I think Conklin and Wood made a good decision staying out. Wood's going to be battling with Miller for a little while, but I think that 17, if he gets a good jump, not as good as we saw on the initial start, we still ain't sure if both of them jumped it and then gave penalties to other people. It's too chaotic. And again, we're going to have to look into that because I think one of the cars actually recovered quite well there that time. I believe. We'll have to go back and look. Tucker's back on the lead lap, so he recovered after that little mistake there.
Got the lucky dog. He's lucky from that. That's why they call it the lucky dog after all, as well as marketing reasons from back in the day, but it's stuck.
Yeah, Aaron's lucky dog. That's what it was.
I wasn't going to mention the brand because they don't sponsor us, but here we go. Race cars are off and away. We're packing away.
Here we go.
Good start from Conklin, and able to get himself the advantage by a car length. Battles on for third on back to start. Hoytsma's been picking up a few spots off the early rip here. That 97's on the move, looking to try maybe poke for second as well soon. He's able to clear by for third, and it looks like Hoytsma's committed to the higher groove to try and carry a little bit more zip on these exits, try and peel the 16 off the wall maybe.
Yeah, he was one of the first people I saw jumping up to the outside when he went around Benefield earlier in the run, and he's sticking to it. He's still up there, and he's bringing that 41 of Dyson with him right now on the top side, trying to get around Cameron Stone and get to the back bumper. Robert Miller there for fourth.
See, Hutchinson's one of the first up on the top still. Dyson's up there in the Conti machine. Again, all this is important to search around for because a lot of these competitors will try and run different types of setups, obviously, for where the speed's going to come, if they expect to be a caution fest, if they expect longer runs. So many different preferences that come into play in an event like this. And obviously, the interesting thing is here, for some drivers, these are some of their home events. We've seen like Corey Moore, for example. He usually goes up in Richmond. This is a local race to them, and a couple other drivers. This is a pretty significant track for a lot of people in this series.
Yeah, it's right in the heart of NASCAR land, okay? That's the truth of the matter. A lot of folks really like Richmond. It's really pretty good. You got, Richmond you got Richmond here. You got Martinsville up the road. You can probably drive all the way down to some of the racetracks in North Carolina within a few hours. Ain't too bad. A lot of good racing. A lot of good racing all over the place.
Bristol technically can throw in, I guess, if you want to stretch out the map by a few hundred miles, but there's a lot of different ways to measure that. As you see, Golota and a couple of the drivers who already pit, for example, down the order. Benefield was not. There's a look at Stone. Golota. 3 wide, Golota. What did we just say about first tires maybe not helping too much? I think we're seeing the reason. This is a chance for them to potentially lap the field with the pace they're running.
Well, I don't know. They're going way up the racetrack for sure.
Fall off right now is upwards of 8/10 for the fastest drivers in the field. We did allude that some of the numbers were starting to go off by 1 second, but I think we're already seeing the fire-off difference, at least to the fresh tires to old tires, with how much they're starting to breeze their way around these cars easily.
Yeah, nose to tail. They kind of work together as a tag team here, just going 99, putting the nose. Oh, crash on the back straightaway. That's the 65 of Sean O'Brien Jr. Second caution of the night.
And we're back under yellow. Take a look at this one.
Here he goes into one. He's showing the nose. Oh, he's loose. He's loose on entry. He got so loose, he got hit by the Fruit Loop and then goes around like that. Oh, good Lord. Luckily, I don't think anybody else got hit, but I feel bad for the 5. 5 was just, it gave him a shot. Where's the caution come from there? It's just the speed?
Yeah. I don't think anyone actually spun, but maybe they went sideways. That's my thought, is we've seen that similar. I think, yeah, the answer was he went too sideways. That's the only reasonable reason, and he was near stopped. So, second slide, second caution. That's a quickie one, or a quick between the previous one. It's still 4-lap caution period.
Well, Jedi Taylor really likes that. He got a lucky dog there again, going around the outside. I'm like, if someone goes out and buys something from Aaron's from saying that, I'd be stunned if this is the reason they made that decision. I just got to say that off the bat. 17. Oh, wow. Look at that. Split decisions. Matthew David Wood stays out. Everybody else seems to come down.
I think Conklin might have been one of those who said, I see the faster drivers coming through the mirror. Maybe I should get on those Goodyear Eagles too. Not going to be too big of a difference, though, so this might be a net negative compared to if he pit the previous caution with Basin. And now a vast majority of the field saying, I need to get these Goodyear Eagles with that big of a fall-off difference or else I get lapped. Only Wood, Miller, Delaney, Duggar, Hodgson, Graves, Hunter, and O'Brien Jr. stay out this caution period.
Dyson, I think, got 2. Well, did he miss his pit stall or did he get 2 tires?
I think Dyson took 2.
Yeah, just 2. That's all I'm seeing, too. Well, everybody's on a different strategy now, folks.
Ryan Jr. will come down this time by. Again, they added extra pace lap just in case of any issues for the pit sequence here after all. But first time Wood's going to get the chance to lead some laps here. But remember, your drivers that pit the last caution are going to be 2nd, 3rd, 7th, and 9th for the upcoming restart, pending anybody else that peels on down. Those cars were moving and are about to see even faster cars right behind them in the order.
I'd be worried if I was Matthew David Wood, seeing what I see in the back mirror. He's got a lot of fast cars, but hold on a minute. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. You see that car? He has a little bit of nose damage from the 36, but he also had a penalty at the very beginning of this race, and he had to go. They cleared it, but he was serving it in the middle of it, and he's recovered to get into the top 10. already a lot of that strategy, but still, it's kind of cool that you can do that.
Indeed. As a lot of drivers are talking about physicality here under the pace lap, scratching bumpers and whatnot. We're already past halfway in the stage, and it's getting pretty physical for a couple of these competitors.
Oh, the lights too. I mean, we're about to have that light glitch happen again here, Justin. It's my favorite thing about this whole dang sim. We see the whole glitch happen. It's going to be in the next 2 to 5 minutes in that range, I'd assume.
Here we go. Coming up for the restart. Matthew David Wood in control. Green, green, green. We're back on our way. Good start, but watch for the 99's run.
Into turn 1. Oh, he showed a nose 06 trying to get there basic. Now they're going to split up 3 wide on the exit of turn 2.
You can see right now the fresh tires are going after it. Offset 3 wide, and Basin jumps to the front. Someone hit the wall in the back, and it's Stone. Stone against the wall. We stay green.
That may have killed it. He had a fast car today, but man, just unfortunate.
Right now, you see everyone else getting themselves sorted out here. Conklin already trying to carve his way to the pack here.
I hear the Jaws theme music in my head. I see that car. He's just going from the back to the front so dang fast.
Yep, obviously, right now, you see with the 3 wide, a lot of these drivers carving up the old tires pretty quickly. Look at that. That includes Vroom Vroom trying to make up a bit of ground. A quiet night so far for the pink machine.
Still 3 wide. You can see the 41 going up to that 3rd lane. Nolan Hodgson is stuck in the middle. He's able to get around the 12. That 41's doing all he can to get all the advantage he can early in the run rather than later. Not very common out of him, but again, we don't have that long to go in the stage. Might as well burn it up. Go, go, go. Battle for the lead starting to heat up too.
Yep, you see just how they're bumper to bumper here. Right now, Galata looking to try and keep himself around to the outside, try and see if he can try something different. But obviously with Basin, he's been fast too. We talked a lot about Conklin with the Ryko camp. Basin's got him 4 wins himself.
Really dominant out of that Ryko camp. A Bigfoot Chassis Collective knocking on the door, not in the points, but on the racetrack. See the 99 going to the outside. He's going to try and carry the momentum. I think he'll try and make a move down here. Oh, he got in the wall. He won't have any jump there. He might have to reset that move up. Man.
Yep, that's going to take a little bit of work. How would you set it up if you were in this car?
Exactly what he's doing. You're running a different line. You use the high line, go as low as you can, get a straight exit on the exit of turn 2. If you can get a good enough run to get to the back bumper, jump up down to the bottom, or you jump to the top, whatever you can to try and gain that momentum. It's a momentum game here. He's got to get as much of it as he can and then make a dive right here. This is perfect.
Yep, exactly. And this is why it's turning into the inside again, making it work for Bigfoot. Galata getting the edge in the corner. Basin having the speed on the exit, back and forth. Still not clear, and now back clear for Basin.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that block. He went way up the racetrack. Both cars up and near the wall.
You can see the sends again up the outside. There goes Galata again. Conklin reeling them down by 0.3 a lap, mind you, too.
And that 99's got to know, hey, I got to get by this guy quick because his teammate's just about to get here. And when he does, I don't got nothing for him. I don't have the same tire set he's got. He's lost that tire advantage. So now that 99's just got to really find a way around that 06 if he really wants to take it. But I think he's going to be real difficult. Basin's one of the better guys out there. And these two are leading the A-Open officials point standings too, not just here in the, in this series. These two guys are just really good. That's the truth of the matter. Oh, car sideways on the exit of turn number 2 just a little bit ago. It looks like, let me see if I can get the number here.
Well,
here we go. It was 15, Miller.
Yep, you're right. Miller, a bunch of those on the bobbles. Miller down the order, just trying to keep things stable right now, down to 21st. He, remember, is on old good years.
Oof. Yeah, he got so sideways. Smoke was pouring out of the tires just a lap ago off turn 2.
Yep, you can see just how this is going. Right now, Conklin ready to try and make this work pretty quickly. You can see using the higher line to set up the angle.
There. Yep, all right. Yep, 17's there. It's going to be a 3-horse battle right here. Got that 17 on the bottom. He's got way more tire grip than the 99 and the 06, so he can really go anywhere he wants, but he's going to try and do the best racecraft he can. That 99's fast, so the only way you can really pass fast is with good racecraft, and these two drivers definitely got it. Side-by-side side draft in the 06, blocking his teammate, aero blocking slightly, running his own line, trying to make sure the 99 doesn't get there. But that 17, I think, is going to be a harder battle for the 06 to block.
Yep, you can see Conklin way up the track here. It feels like this might be one of those races where tire roulette's going to be pretty strong. We've already seen that. Even a couple laps difference seems to be a massive factor. And right now, Conklin's doing a phenomenal job on the chip away. Here we go, coming up towards the start of the lights, by the way, so get ready to see this light tune change, because that's how light bulbs work.
All I gotta say is it's my favorite part of this dang graphics engine is that it just snaps. And when it does, it's so blatantly obvious that it happened. Track gets darker. Cars look a little bit more illuminated. It's a little different. 17 almost up in the wall. I didn't even know that you could run that line. He's all the way up on a wall, carries it down. Look at that, going for the lead now with that momentum he gained.
Yep, you can see just how much the teammates are ready to battle. Not expecting too much of an intense effort from Basin because, you know, it's your teammate. And he already recognizes Conklin's got the speed, lets him have the run, but will at least try to send it back, try and burn up Conklin stuff on the inside.
You know, that's right here. This is a great photo opportunity for the team. They could probably get a whole bunch photos of them side by side right there leading this race. Take that home, use that as a little propaganda. I like it. That's 17, able to use his tires, which are slightly fresher than the 06 and the 99s, to take the lead away. And what we just saw is technically a swap. Galata was in the lead at the very beginning. First caution came out, got tires, came back up to the front, and here we go. That is absolutely insanity.
Yep. And so this has turned things to where Conklin has a chance to control the stage coming up towards 10 to go. The sun's starting to set. The next highest on the tire strat hasn't been able to get up to this group. Nicholas Vroman is currently looking to vroom his way up 11 into 4th. He's catching up to Galata to be the next on the strategy, trying to get himself maybe up to 2nd if he's got himself long run.
Now, we know that Vroman has slightly fresher tires than Galata, so because of that, this is expected. You're going to see that car with fresher tires get around Galata there rather easily. Same thing with Hoytsma, might be the same boat. A lot of these cars are going to be able to pass the 99, most likely the 06, and the 06 has any sort of fall off. But right now, the 06 is doing really well, hanging on for now. But how long will that last? It's going to constantly get worse with the fall off. But remember, it's only about 10 laps to go before the end of the stage. So because of that, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. They'll be comfortable.
Yep, and you see just how much this is going right now for drivers like Murray, who I can already tell you, if he's listening, you have some paperwork to do after the race for the business side. We'll say he's got top 10 pace. He was top of the board in final practice earlier today.
Yeah, he was fast, but remember that was also with qualifying speed. That's really the difference. You could see the difference between qualifying and race speed pretty clearly. But it's a lot harder to make cars that go long distance, and they do a great job over there, but just not quite what they need right now to be able to compete with Conklin and Basin up front.
Up in all of this is said with under 10 to go on the stage. I'm curious about drivers like Paul Hill, what they're going to do if we get to postseason, because he's right now pretty solid on the cushion, I think, as well. That's not going to help. Hutchinson's become a blinking light, nearly became massive technical issues there for a connection flag. But I was about to say, Hill's been uber quiet. He's gotten good runs in the top 10, but not in the top 5 this year.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, the whole idea behind that 26, you said the word quiet. That is how I imagine Paul Hill. He's not a loud driver. He doesn't slam a car out of the way. He's not in your face about it. He just shows up week after week, good finishes, not top 2, not top 3, but not 15th or 16th. He's constantly in a points paying position that's good. So he's going to need to step it up in the chase, because the chase is so much different this year compared to the last 6 or however many we did the dang playoff with. Now it's all about winning. You got to win if you're not somebody who wins in the regular season. So because of that, Paul Hill, he's got to have a Tony Stewart-esque path to win a championship, because he's got to be able to be up front every single time, just like 2011 when he was with Stewart and Edwards were going at it. Same thing here. You gotta, if you're that far back in the points, 8th on back, you need to have a fantastic run in the chase to even have a chance at the championship.
Indeed, and I know it's been a long time since the last chase. I know you've been keeping every single day on the calendar for the next time they come back to the format, but at this point, it's going to be an interesting quest for the championship when we get there, because you never know what's going to happen over 10 races, because your consistency, as we've seen, changes from the start of the year to even a stretch of a couple months. By the way, as this is all going on, we're coming up to 1 to go on the stage. Conklin has been one of the constants in all parts of the season so far. With 1 to go on the stage, he's on the way from what will be 20 stage wins this season.
Just incredible driving. Great driver, great team, all working together. It seems like they got the magic recipe that's just making a great dish right now.
Indeed. As all this is to say, as he nearly lap tastings, Conklin, 20 stage wins on the season. It's been a dominating effort from the 17. He gets it over Basin, from Hoytsma, Dyson, Benefiel, Hill, Galata, along with drivers like Hutchinson in the mix. Despite technical issues, Hunter Truex down in 10th. 6 seconds to spread between 1st and 10th.
Again, all that, some cars are on so many different strategies. You can't tell who's on what right now based on this. At the end of the race, we're going to see how it all adds up, how it all stacks up. But great run for everybody in the top 10 getting some points. But now we got to get ready for this very, very long stage 2, man.
Dude, we do. That's going to see the whole field have to come down pit road coming up. They've already caught up to the pace car. And you can see the reason they were extended pace cautions here, because they all didn't catch the pace car until well after the cone / the barrels. So make sure you don't have half the field jump the field by coming down pit road early and making the stop that way. Drivers are being warned about stack-ups here, but obviously much of the field, for those who saved the tire set, are going to be down near the 20s or in the 20s now.
But they got that extra set. Anybody who stayed out since the start of this race is going to have that extra set. Everybody else in the front won't. So you need that. I mean, I say that's an advantage. You can use that. Oh, there was smoke on the front stretch. What happened? Did you see that?
I think that was part of the stack-ups, maybe.
I'll go and look at that and see what that. Oh, it was the 30 car. William Owens, he got spun out.
Was it Jason S. Taylor said, "I've got nothing" on the radio? Yes, he ran through the 30, didn't he?
Absolutely got absolutely. I can't say that on the broadcast. That's what he got. Good Lord. Take a look at this right here.
As they pit the black flag machine of Jason S. Taylor. He's behind Owens. They already warned about stack-ups right about this point. And then they stack up. Oh my word, he didn't know they were checking up.
You know, that is problematic, to say the least.
Well, as you would expect, Jason is done. And he's parked it for the night because he's even flabbergasted. Evan Mesnard got a speeding penalty. And everyone else catches up to the pace car. The Ryko machines are 1 and 2. As you would expect, everybody took 4 tires. With the added pace laps here in this situation, the Ryko camp currently gets itself ready for a restart pretty soon. Why don't we check in with Sean Conklin? Sean Conklin, this is the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy?
I got you.
Have a hot rod so far here. You picked up 20 stage wins. How's it feel to have you and Basin now combined for 24 stage wins? 23, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's where I've been stacking up most of my points from so far this season. So yeah, I tried to play the long game there with the tires, but I saw how quick they got through the field, so definitely wasn't going to stay out on that second caution, and we're going to have a little bit of an advantage there to get them back, and now we'll see what we can do in the second one.
So on that note, very quick key to stage 2.
Just try to stay in clean air, and I think we got maybe 1 or 2 pit stops during this. I think maybe 3. We will see, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Back to the team you go. Sean Conklin to restart. Alongside Basin for stage number 2. Again, this is a long one. We are going to 230 from this point. And look at the front. We're back underway with Conklin clear. Equal tires right now for the field.
Side by side for third. Look at Hoytsma go. First time seeing him going for a podium position up on the top side of the racetrack. He's going to get that job done. Look at that run he gets off corner. Hoytsma, P3.
See Benefield going alongside Galata. As right now, Galata just trying to find a way to regather the momentum. That Chevy nearly scraped the wall. And we know Benefield is one of those solid on the short tracks in his time here. Out of Benefield, pretty steady. He's right ahead of Hill, Hutchinson, and now a 3-wide poke to the inside. Ascend up by Trill, really trying to showcase his speed.
Oh man, he's leaning on the door. He had got a little loose on the exit of the corner. Murray tried to go up to the top to take advantage of it. Got blocked off by Hill, but it looks like a real winner and all that. Happened to be Hutchinson. He used the outside line, was able to get by the 2 on the bottom.
Yep. Murray say on the radio, I don't know why we're doing 3 wide, but when Gab Carr. Hey, for reference, Bobby Anderson's trying to go 3 wide behind him, so it's not only the drivers up on the front doing it, it's everyone trying to go 3 wide to go.
It's always going to be in the back. You see it, 5 car, he's still digging down to the bottom again. He's trying to make it work. He sure did. It got Tanner Marty to back out of it. So Tanner Marty loses a couple spots, falls back even further. 5 moves up. Oh, 6 car, Delaney put the 5 in the wall.
A little bit of physicality there on the boss man. And Galata, part of the... Apologies popping up on the radio in the air group because Galata and Benefield also traded paint. Not clear with Anderson's case. And everybody in the 3 wides got physical at the exact same time.
Oh my goodness. We're going to have to take a look at all that eventually. But all the cars are staying in the right direction. That's the good thing here. I don't know how bad the damage might be. I don't see very much on most of these cars, but they're facing the right direction, keeping it going, that's for sure.
Yep, you see Anderson, I think, might have, yes, it does. Does have a cut fender. That's going to hurt him on the aerodynamics here tonight. Might burn up the right front faster.
kind of counterintuitive. You think a little bit more air on that right front would, get it cooled down a little more, but not necessarily like that in the sim.
Well, Madero's had technical issues too, by the way, and peeled down pit road to fix them. 20's now falling a lap down. That's your next candidate potentially for a lucky dog. And blended out right in the middle of the back of the field just about. So hopefully things stay stable, because that's now what is the second or third car tonight with tech issues. He's still dealing with tech issues. He just doesn't know it yet.
I'd like to actually see if we can look at a trend here. Next time they go through turns 3 and 4, if we can get a static camera looking at all the cars fly by that are single file, I want y'all to notice something about it, which is this is early run. This is early run in the whole thing. Look at where they're running. They're going to be running right on the bottom of the racetrack. Nobody's moving up to the top line, not at all if you are single file, unless you are looking to make a pass. 71's doing that slightly, but everybody's running the bottom unless you're side by side for position. That is the preferred lane early run. I'm going to look back at this here in about, say, lap 110, and let's see what line they're choosing to run then, because that way we can see the progression. Do they go to the top? Do they have somebody running the super top? Do they leave the bottom entirely? That's something that just happens with this dynamic track as the 99 closes in on the 41 for position.
Yep, Galata. See him working with the shifts you've seen on the entry. Keeping it in fourth gear for the corners, using a bit of fifth gear as well when necessary. Right there, you see just a tiny blip to fifth gear, not sticking in it. So just trying to maximize the RPMs, even that extra 1 second to make sure you're quick down the straight. There, fifth gear for 3 seconds, down to fourth, makes the pass.
Oh yeah, it works for you. That's for sure. You kind of have to do it that way if you really want to make the fastest times out there. Unless you set the car up a certain way, but yeah, definitely blipping it up to 5 on the end of that straightaway is beneficial. The longer we go, though, let's see how far that 99 can go. Remember, he qualified on the pole. He had the fastest car early in the practices, and he was fast. Point is that 99, he's loose now. You saw he had a big wiggle off turn 2. I think that car might have had something done to it once it started turning darker.
Yep. Lights are still on, by the way. They're still off.
I'm surprised. Normally it's around this time we see the lights switch. It just hasn't happened yet.
Well, big reason. It's just, technically they're on. It just doesn't look like it.
It's going to happen any second now. And now that we're talking about it.
Don't you see the light bulbs on?
Yeah, they're on, but it's not. It's the graphical glitch.
I feel like you want that to happen.
Oh, it will. I'll point it out. We'll make it obvious. Yeah.
Well, that in mind here as we look around some of the others in the train. Pearson, talked about him. He's one of the drivers looking to battle his way up from 20th in points. Just 4 top 10s all season, though. 62 needs to find a way to get better than where he's running, to say the very least. He's averaged solid pace. Picked up some stage points on the year, but hasn't been able to consistently finish top 10 at the end of the races.
That's right. Consistency is key in this particular system. Chase, you need to be consistent all the time. You need to be up front all the time. 62 right now is one of those drivers that has not been necessarily consistent. We've seen him have great race weekends up towards top 5, top 10 even. But then you have weekends that are not quite as consistent, where he falls back 13th, 18th, 19th, and wrecked out in a few races this year. So I think that the number one thing Neil Pearson could work on here is consistency, trying to get the same result. But it's so hard to even make that happen. It's not even a driver adjustment. Sometimes it's just bad luck.
Yep, indeed. And really speaking, for a lot of this going on, this is a part of the time of the race where you just have to keep turning lap after lap, try and make sure you don't burn up your stuff. Murray still following on behind Hutchinson for reference, running 11th at the moment. Murray, turbulent year after being a driver in last year's playoffs. He's only made 10 starts this season in the 22 car.
Oh, man, that 22 of Miller, one thing about that driver right there is that he's really passionate about racing. He loves racing. And one thing that could bring is just so much aggression on the racetrack. He's one of those drivers that leaves it all out there. And if he feels like that he's been wronged, he will let you know about it. And that's one of the things that make him kind of entertaining to watch, for sure.
Exactly. And it's been a wild year for a lot of these drivers as a whole, it feels like. But as we've kind of seen, you want to be fast, you be here, as well as, you know, have a fast car for the week that you've been competing in for your SOFs or for your various different teams, or have a good base in this world, or have Ken Byron, or anything along those lines. You know, a lot of different, you don't need all of those things, but hey, at this point, the more seat time as a group you put in during the week, the more it kind of helps for FLCC. And usually you have battles like this that form up with some of your drivers that are your best of the best week in, week out.
Well, you got Tucker, Graves, Moore, O'Brien Jr., who we saw wrecking earlier. You got Tanner Duggar, 29 Tanner Marty, and Medeiros all on your screen right there. This little group, oh man, that Tucker car got real loose. He had to let off the gas big time. Big loss for the 10-car Tucker, sending it in 3 wide into turn 2.
See that right now, Duggar in a Ford tonight. Tucker has had damage on the front nose for basically the entire race in the 36. Just trying to stay out of trouble here after being lapped down earlier. These drivers, for reference back here, just a 10th off the leader in the past couple laps. The average did drop by a few tenths because of all that wildness off the corner. But average-wise, we're again going to have an interesting night where lap traffic is really only going to come into play if you see massive fall after 50 laps.
You know, right there, that 71 has surprised me quite a bit here today. In terms of the speed of everybody being the same speed, we're starting to notice that. But then again, all of them are on the same strategy. All of them got tires on the same time. So the real changes, I think, going to happen once we start seeing some green flag pit stops. We heard from Sean Conklin under that last stage yellow. They said they could have 1 to 2, maybe even 3 pit stops in this next section. Conklin really left the door wide open. My guess is I don't think we're going to see 3, 2 maybe, 1 probably. But yeah, it is going to be quite the interesting predicament considering that 71 though. I like seeing him where he is. He's running a great race so far. 8th place, moving up as we got another battle further forward with the 99. Galata trying to make a move on Hoytsma for 3rd.
See it right there. Hoytsma trying to hug the inside. Has a Conti power plant, believe, underneath him tonight. But there's the zip. Well, say that, of course, Hoytsma is part of those that runs with Black Flag in this series, but has the different logo on the car tonight for his respect. Meanwhile, Hill, you mentioned the air battle going on. Trying to make his way down the inside, the 71. Hill's been able to pick up spots tonight, up 10. He's since then plateaued here.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing here is that the 26 and the 71, their rotors are really glowing right now. You use a lot of brake around Richmond, so much so that it's easy to break a rotor in real life, but out here, you can see how dark it gets, that giant red inside the wheel well. And it's just a nice little graphical thing. I love it. It's fun. But sooner or later, I think we might get, hoping iRacing adds some brake fade in there. I haven't quite happened yet. But what I can tell you is that he's definitely moving forward. That 71, he's on a good position, but it looks like he's actually falling back, rather. He went back 2 spots. Hill got by him. Benefield was by him, and now the 19's trying to get by him.
All of them trying to get by each other here, I guess you can say.
Oh, yeah. Tracy.
Exactly. As things you see the outside trying to come into play, he scrapes the wall for good measure to tap it and say, I know you're there. But still, we're almost 40 laps into the run here. We're already got to be about a third through the fuel mileage in itself. A lot of these drivers as a whole, if you're going to see the big difference, is going to start coming in about this point forward. Conklin is nearly 1 second. In fact, is about a second ahead of Basin.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I wish I could start laughing so hard, man. That is hilarious. Okay. All right. Well, not the racing part. You just happened to hear it. If you heard it, you knew it. If you didn't, might want to check yours. That's all I can say. All right. Let's see. So up front, I want to go through top 5 for a second. Boydsman, last year's champion. He's running P4 right now, doing a great job. He lost a spot to Galata, but that 97, that's a pretty good top 5 car today, I think, from what I've seen. Just behind him, though, Roman and Dyson, they are side by side for the 5th place spot. Remember, Dyson is one of the best drivers out there at saving their tires. So if that 41 has anything for the rest of the field, it's going to be because he saved tires. 83 just behind him, same exact thing. He's back in 7th, trying to make a move on Vroman. Vroman's really good at racing no matter what you put him in. And he's able to keep the speed long into the run, and so is Paul Hill. They're all under a blanket right now, trying to battle for that spot. You can see also up front that gap between Conklin and Basin is extended up to about 1 second and 2/10. Huge gap between Conklin and Basin. So this might be the 10th win on the season if Conklin's able to be here at the end of 400 laps. Being able to win is everything, but Conklin's able to just do it week in and week out in one of the toughest series there is. And it's really dang talented and really cool to watch, and kind of a feat that I'm not going to forget about. If you go back and look at last year, very rarely did you see very many people win. I don't think anybody won 10 races in that year. So that's over the course of the entire season, let alone before the regular season's even over. Right now, you can see on your screen, though, the longer this goes, we're on lap 117, 116, we're getting there. Single file for the majority of the field. We're going to take a moment to take a look at the cars as they go around. Just sit back, relax, and here's the car going around. Man, look right here. Benefield on the inside of Paul Hill. Paul Hill actually making a move on the outside, rather. Paul Hill was behind Benefield for a while. Now he's gotten by. Paul Hill having a great night tonight, moving up to the back bumper of Roman in that 26 machine. Yeah. So we want to take a look at turn. I understand now. Thank you. So it looks like we're going to take a look at turn 3. Remember out earlier in the broadcast, we said that everybody was staying on the bottom. Very few people have moved. You can see some cars going up, moving up slightly, but the majority of the cars staying on the bottom of the racetrack tells me turns 3 and 4 will stay a bottom feeder unless you're trying to make a pass, in which case you're going to use the top to try and build momentum, slingshot around the car in front of you at the end of the straightaway and going into turn 1. You can use that momentum to the bottom. Like we saw earlier, Galata making a pass on Hoytsma. Happened before, it can happen again. And you're looking right now on your screen, Paul Hill is moving forward. He's got a fast machine right now. He's trying to get to the inside of Roman, but it's so hard to complete that pass. He's going to be side by side with them down the back straightaway. Into turn 3 and 4. Still on the bottom, side by side. 26 leaning on the door, doing all he can to try and side draft him back. Still even. Looks like that 26 of Paul Hill having not a quiet night tonight. Kind of loud. I like the speed I'm seeing out of Paul. Great night for him. And it looks like he might be able to get by him. He sure does. There you go. Oh, not quite. Oh, big run on the outside from Roman. Still trying it. And it looks like I think he'll have him cleared here on the exit 2. Up in front of this, though, Hoytsma loses a position to Dyson. Dyson moves up to P4. 97 trying to look back to the inside, trying to try something there. I think that 41 just gets great momentum on the exit when he runs the high line, and he's able to extend that gap quite a bit. And now I think he's pretty comfortable sitting there in P4, trying to chase down Galata running P3 right now. As the gap from 1st to 10th is 6 seconds. So this is right around the gap we saw at the end of stage number 1. But now we got a ways to go to get to the end of stage 2. Kind of a long way to go, to say. Here's a battle for 11th right now. Hunter Truel, Matthew David Wood, 16. Whoa, look how low he went and how high the 71 and the 6 went. Way up the racetrack for those other 2 cars. See the 6 trying to use the apron a little bit there on the entry to turn 1 and 2. That is a terrible position to be in. Car gets real loose when you hit the apron there. And a lot of cars can really, it can cause a stack up. You never really know. Matthew David Wood, though, has not really had... Oh, we have someone on pit road. Here we go. The 5 car. Bobby Anderson, first car on pit road. So that opens the door for pit stops. His caution's out. 127. Something happened on the racetrack. Back straight away, Brandon Hastings in the 81 machine. Something must have happened on the entry to turn 3 or down the back. Let's take a look and see what may have happened to that 81 machine. Looks fine right there. Jose Medina on the 6. And, oh, whoa, there we go. Cliff Mullins heavy into the inside wall for the 44. Cliff Mullins is the one that ends up going around, but we might want to take a look at that again because that was just an odd angle for that to happen at. 44 came down, I think, into the 81, but I've seen other things happen before. Let's see it. See Cliff on the outside. He's going to arc it down, and he's trying to go all the way to the bottom. But 81's there, and so the contact is made. 81 did nothing wrong there. 44 just misjudged it, and into the inside wall contact. They'll have to get that damage repaired.
Again, you never know when a caution flag's going to fly here, Kirk, as the fire alarm again is now dealt with. But at the very least, it becomes, if you're amongst those just trying to take your car and keep it up front, you better take it in for pit service here after 56 laps. This should take us just about maybe near the range to go on fuel. But tires is a different story if we get an air caution.
Yeah. I think a lot of cars, the 5 car pitted on pit road just before that caution happened. So really unfortunate timing for Bobby Anderson. Now he's got to have to get the wave around and start at the back of the field. So really net negative for Bobby Anderson there after all that. Cars all on pit road taking 4 tires and fuel. I don't think anybody would do anything different. And we are back. You can see it there. Losing a couple spots on pit road. The 99 Galata, I think, dropped a couple spots. But, you know, when I heard that beeping from that smoke detector, I'm like, it's not me. I normally have my sound effect here I use randomly. But no, it's the first time I've ever actually heard a real one. It's been a while. That's wild.
Cliff Mullins amongst those on the track to take the wave with the damage here. We're Conklin the first off the road along with Payson and Dyson. But obviously 270 laps to go, still a long way to go as per the FLCC. It's only been about an hour or so of racing action. But I feel like it's going to be very difficult to pass the 17 with the fact that the runs haven't gone into green flag stops to try and take him into a different strategy window yet here tonight.
I think that the only way you're going to pass the 17 is you have to be on a different tire strategy or lap traffic will interfere. Those are the only 2 ways I think that 17 will have any sort of competition tonight. He has been dominant all season. He has been dominant once he got the lead tonight. And now that he's on the same tire strategy as everybody else, it makes it so much more difficult for anybody else to compete with what they got. I'd love to see some racing up front, not going to lie, but it is pretty dominant out of that 17 today.
Yep, here we go, getting ready for the restart. It's Basin, Conklin, alongside Shark Conklin to win in control. Dyson, Hoytsma, Galata, Benefield, Wood, Frohlman, followed by Miller and Hill. All of them on your top 10 starters coming up here from Richmond. As they all get geared up and ready to go, only one driver is out of the race of note. That's Jason S. Taylor. Everybody else has remained in the session, even Cameron Stone, who's 13 laps down after his 6 minutes of repairs. The green is back out. We're back to racing.
Great jump from the 17 again, but he stays way down lower and lower than everybody else on the restart, right on the bottom of the racetrack, and able to pull away.
Green low on the back straightaway, trouble, and this is going to see him inside the inside wall for Stephen Williams for the caution.
I thought he was stuck in the wall there for a second. He stayed a little longer than I would have expected.
Inside wall for the 98. Back under caution. And shouldn't see really anybody come down this time.
Yeah, I don't think coming down pit road is at all a good idea unless you are Williams. Williams is the only one that I think needs to come down pit road. That was interesting. But yeah, it's unfortunate for the 98. He's going to have some... luckily, it's early in the race. He can recover from that. It's absolutely recoverable. He'll be able to come back. Not much damage on the front end. Now we're back to pacing everybody.
So under caution again here at Richmond. We'll take a step aside. More coverage of the FLCC continuing after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's action as we're having a ball here on Maconi Entertainment. Justin Prince, Kirk Mills alongside Morgan Cook, our producer. We're back to green as we still have a lot of laps to go here in this stage. We're already at 91 to go. Coming up this time by in the stage.
Side by side for third. Dyson and Oitzma. It's been that way a couple times on the restarts. Seem to be right on top of each other. The 06, though, having a great run that time. I think he's trying to build some momentum to chase down his teammate, but I don't think he's going to have enough to get there quite yet.
Yep, not yet. At least with the outside going, at least on the short run. With everyone about 10 laps through the tires, there are a couple drivers who came down pit road mostly for repairs. Owens, Williams, Mullins, Hastings was back there as well. Bobby Anderson also. But everyone else just continuing to try and figure out where they're going to pick up spots here. Daiso, pretty solid season, but also pretty quiet season compared to last year's standards as the road course king. Conklin under attack by Basin for the lead.
Hey, all right. Front row racing. I like it. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Basin and Conklin, the way it ought to be right here.
Yep, you can see Conklin just trying to find a way to clear and make sure he holds on, but Basin's doing that NASCAR RTP line, using a huge run from the outside, get something going. It can cause a big boost, as you can see, but it surely is a different line than what you expect in most cases with this car. It's working for Basin, though.
Yeah, and it's so hard to pull off, too. You got to be really good at handling your car. Look how close he's getting to the back bumper of his teammate. He almost gave him a shot on the exit of turn 4. Still nose to tail. Now he's looking to the inside.
Now he tries to get to alongside the numbers, along to the tire. Basin trying to clear. Can he get himself the lead? He's already had 19 laps led here tonight. Already 100 for Conklin. The Batman and Robin show, if you will, with these two partners in crime to prevent crime, continuing to control the front.
Batman reference for the week. Got that one. All right. I like it. That's so good. Man, that 97, though, he's not letting them go. That battling that's happening between the top two is bringing third and fourth right into the picture. It's not like they're pulling away like we saw before. Now they're racing hard, and that's opening the door for the rest of the folks to get in there.
Yep, and as this is going, Basin's now trying to squeeze Conklin. There's Hutchinson. He's going the wrong way, letting cars go on the outside.
Oh, man, side by side for the lead. He's on the top side. That's preferred. Let's see if the 06 can get it done. I think in terms of speed, he's got it right here. Side draft from his teammate, though. Man, they're inches off the wall, too. They're not giving each other very much room at all. 06 was like right up on that wall on the back straightaway that last time. It was amazing he didn't hit it.
New leader, Dylan Basin. And the two pro stripes in the field, 1 and 2, as you can look at some of the errors in the order. Delaney, one of the former pro stripes, continuing to try and find a way to claw his way ahead. Same for Robert Miller, who lost a lot of ground after his strategy to keep the old tires on earlier. He's slowly making it back, while Hudson from the back towards the mid-pack now for the 12.
By the way, during the course of that time you were gone, we had the lights switch. It actually happened while you were gone there, so missed that opportunity, but it's back out. It's now dark out there. Gotta say, man, it is real surprising to me to see the vast difference in speed up at the front. It's just that much harder. If you want to be the top 1% of the 1%, you got to be up front all the dang time. Basin and Conklin, they fit that description. So does Galata. Galata, I'd say he's pretty close to that top 1%, right on it. And, you know, it's hard to get there. If you're like a driver like Matthew David Wood or Paul Hill, today's just not really leaning your way right now. Sitting 8th and 10th. Going to need to have some strategy go your way to be able to win this race. Pure pace is going to be difficult to catch up when you got those two up front.
Yep, and as you can see with the squeeze now from Mesnard on the outside. This is kind of just, again, solidified.
He gave him a shot. He wrecked him. Holy cow, he put him around. Both cars wrecked.
Both of them spin. We're under caution. I think that might be a difference in brake marks, isn't it?
I mean, I hope I hope that's the excuse. Good Lord.
Yeah, you can already see coming in the previous corner, Graves is backing up his corners compared to Mesnard, and then Mesnard did not adjust for one.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
They weren't even at the corner, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, 01 didn't go down. They weren't even there yet. And there was a little bit of a checkup there, so I don't know. Do we got a little bit of beef in the back of the field today? I don't know. That's pretty good, though. Let's ride on board with Mesnard and see what's going on.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty telling.
No. We didn't have any drama at Iowa at all, really. So it wasn't between these two guys. Let's see here. 5, give him a shot. Wait, was the car in front in 4th gear? Was he in 5th or 4th? Because if the Graves was in 4th, then that would mean that like he doesn't get that extra top speed when he's up in 5th gear, because that might be it.
Why don't we answer that? Because look, it's at 4. See, we talked about a few teams are going up to 5th at the blip. He did not down the back. I think that's part of it.
Maybe. Let's see. Because if it is 4th, 5th, he did shift up. But whoa. I don't know, man. That was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the contact there in the context, but Mesnard, one of those from the Luna Racing Performance Camp, part of those on the contact here. A few drivers will come down to pit after 25 laps, and again, it's like what we've seen at stage 1. Tire differences coming into play here potentially. So obviously it becomes the question, do you poke the bear and ask the 73 the case of the context, or let them try and sort it out?
Now, I look at it again, and what I notice is the 01 on the exit of turn number 4 got loose, had a big checkup moment. He was off the pace. He was like 4 or 5 mile an hour slower than the 73. 73 was closing in on the 01, and him and the 10 were even going into the corner. We know that the 73 and the 10 weren't dive bombing that corner. The 01 was just so far off the pace that when he got shot in the back bumper, it lifted the tires up, got the car upset, got it sideways, and the 73 who hit him upset his own car, and then he went around. I don't think that was intentional. I think that was purely racing after looking at it closely. I'd be surprised if there's some beef there, but what I can say is that it's just looks like there's beef, but there's probably not. I'd be surprised if there was.
Either way, what things get sorted there between those drivers. They'll have their discussion in the motor home lot, motor coach lot, if you will. We're coming to the restart. Conklin versus Hoytsma on the front row now. Because, and this is an interesting play, Dylan Basin is one of those who did come down to pit, obviously, Kirk. So obviously splitting up the right go camp a bit here to see if he can get a long run and see if that pays off.
Yeah, he's restarting back outside of the top 20. Keep that in mind, 20th, 21st in that range. He's going to be restarting back there. I am excited to see how long it takes Basin to get from P21 back up to the front, if it's even possible. Here's a restart.
Here we go for the restart. Green, back and away. Benefield off to a good start in the battle for second. Hoytsma trying to keep on the outside all while Vroom Vroom trying to battle it up with Hill. Look at Murray up in the order too. Oh, and they're crashing. There goes Medeiros. He's around for the caution. It's at the back of the order.
Yeah, I just saw that 06 get by him. Something must have happened once the 06 was able to make it by. It wasn't with the 06, but it was with somebody very close to him. You're going to watch this restart with the 20 in the 06, and you'll see the 06 just diving in into turn 1. He had so much speed here. And so did Dyson, both cars. 4 wide on the entry to turn 1. You don't see that every day. 99 trying to super top. And that's what it was. It was that 20 car did not know there were 3 wide. 5 car was there and just came up the hill, and there he was.
And it puts us right under the caution yet again. And so, yellows breed yellows.
Ooh.
And does anyone else blink? Take a pit stop here.
Got a little bit of damage on the right front of the 99 at Galata. That might be something. I see it on my screen here, but it is slight. But he did hit the wall, and he also made contact with the car on the inside. But it was very slight contact, and I got an image here on my end that's showing a little bit of damage on that 99.
You mean the scrapey scrape?
Yeah, a little scrape, very lightly.
I'm not concerned about a scrapey scrape. I'm concerned about a sledgehammer to the fender.
Yeah, I think that he'll be fine. But the point is that first time I've seen that 99 have any scratches on it.
Well, scratches have gone away, so obviously they've been rubbed away with whatever you use for car cleaning. That being said here, only Duggar, Robinson, Mullins, Williams, and Medeiros came down pit road, so nobody electing to deviate from the strategy. Not enough laps to burn if you're someone like Conklin to put on the fresh boots. Yeah, a lot of the people on the radio are having good conversations at this point, at least. The field is just trying to keep themselves entertained here as Vroom Vroom nearly drives to the barrier.
What is that? What is that guy up to again? Good Lord.
Yeah, I think they're really just focused. It's good old-fashioned warm up the tires while we talk. I mean, don't you randomly during caution flags make friends with your opponents or have entire fights over the radio because having some rock and sock'em ice cream socials, if you will.
Yeah, I think that quote, "quit your jibber jabber," shows up for that one reason. Because it happens every time we get a wreck fest. Happens every time. Here we go. Hopefully we get some green flag running. We kind of had a bad stretch of cautions here. Gonna have the pace car. It looks like not this time, but next time we'll get back going. Doubling up for a restart this time.
So we're getting all set for the restart. So we gear up and get ready. As they all prepare and try and figure out, I guess, how to play Tarkov, I guess, is the conversation. Either way, we're coming up to the restart. Conklin's in control. He's stayed in control most of the race.
It's going to be hard to lose control at this point unless they have a different strategy.
So here we go. Time for the radio chatter to go back to race car things. Vroom, 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 vroom. Off and away we go.
Clipping that.
Off and away we go off the start, and what has turned into a ball of a night from the Strawberry Hill 400. And everybody has been having a wild one from top to bottom. Basin will look on the top and pass by some cars. And nearly some contact because I don't think Pearson realized the run was there yet.
The 06, the 41, and the 99. Keep an eye on them. Good Lord, they are slicing and dicing through this field.
Yeah, Basin showing the positivity that is fresh tires when you're running upwards again. Right now, we're talking a second off for a couple of the cars. Some of the drivers are running personal bests for reference, though. Kind of wild, the difference on how many heat cycles you get to how fast some of these drivers are actually being on their car for the field.
I don't know nothing about exactly how it reacts at Richmond, but what I can say is it definitely adds a bit of complexity to how a car is going to have speed versus not. And that 99's kind of stuck right now. He's stuck behind that 41. I think 91's slightly quicker, but he's got to try and get around. 06, same way with the 16. Trying to use a super top line, third lane. Looks like it might work out. 3 wide, now 2, and he'll be clear. Making a move down from Murray there.
Yep, trying to wrap his way up the top still. You see Dyson 3 wide. Dyso gets around the 36 and possibly the 12 here. Looks like he's able to bring a lot of width as a result of some of the moves just like that. All that's to say, Basin, his lap times compared to the others, now that they put a few laps in, not just on fire off, the speed is 4/10 difference. Robert Miller is a moment. There's a driver of the wall. It's the EPI machine of Hunter in the wall.
Off the pace on the back straightaway, he goes down to the apron. I think he's coming down pit road. He's probably going to need to get that damage repaired. What happened to the 48 of Tyler Hunter?
Broken wheel, that's what's happened here for his sake, as that will see him down pit road under green with a meatball. Let's see.
Got loose on his own on the entry turn one, got up in the outside wall, big time hit. So hate to see it happen for him. Rough night.
You need points, not that. That's terrible for his chances for the chase. 14 laps to go from 20th to 2nd, by the way, since the pit stop with the caution period for the 06. He's already going for the lead. Conklin is giving him space.
Side by side, you can see that Basin just taking advantage of all that tire difference on the outside, making it clear that he's got it. But that 17's like, hey, wait until I get a tire advantage. I'll be right back on your tail.
Yeah, and Kieran Galad has also been able to get around. Yes, he did in front of Dyson. That was while in traffic, so Galada's short run speed coming into play. As now he gets boxed in behind Murray. Now back to the top he goes.
I would be surprised if the 99 and the 41 don't end up 2 and 3 by the end of the run here. I'd be very surprised to see that. 99 and the 41 with the fresher tires just got that much more run. But the thing is, they've been running the top line longer than anybody else. So maybe they have a way of burning the tires up a little bit more than the cars that are on the bottom of the racetrack. I don't think it will happen, but that 99 is just so much faster than everybody else.
Yeah, that 99's pretty solid on speed. It's going to be tough to beat the drivers like Basin with the gap already built, but pretty clear. He's one of the fastest outside the Ryko camp. Dyson's been doing pretty solid on his moves, but see, it's taken him an extra step or two throughout each of these cars here, and that's a big difference compared to what we're seeing from the 06, 17, 99 compared to the 41.
The difference, too, is just that patience is key. You know, you got to save your tire for the long run. The 99 is not really saving hard at all. He is just pushing all he can to get all he can. But you got 41, who is a known fantastic tire saver, able to save as much as he can. So I think that's something to keep in mind, too.
Yep, you just see where Galata is willing to take it, and you see the difference. Conklin a little bit more tougher this time at the 99 down the straightaway, and going to force a lift up. See the move right there for Galata to try and get around.
Makes it look easy. He's just ripping the outside. He's got so much better tire advantage right now, and he's just able to get by. Basin's already there now. Galata's there. Now Dyson's got one more spot to go, and then the prediction will have come true where the 41 will be third, Galata second, Basin first. But don't leave out Delaney, because I think Delaney might have a little bit of something too. The 19, who we saw having really fast runs on the outside of the racetrack, just seems to not quite have it later in the run. He's up to 14th, but not quite recovered up into the top 10 where we saw him earlier. Kind of a longer night starting right now. Well, here's the deal, folks. You're looking right now on your screen, that battle between Vroman and Hoytsma. That is what you're seeing. Battle for 6th and 7th. Nice. And, you know, whether or not that 97 is going to be able to recover well, I don't think he's got the long run speed right now. We've seen it throughout the entirety of the race. He is somebody who restarts up in third, fourth, but would gradually fall back as the run progresses. He get passed by Delaney there. He got passed by Vroom, and now you got Benefield right there on the tail of the 97. He's got a ways to go too, but I think that 97 has short run speed, but maybe lacking the long run right now. Look at that 83 going to the inside, showing the nose, able to make it work. On the binders hard, you saw the glowing brake rotor. Able to make the inside line rotate. Even down the back straightaway into turn 3. 83 tries to get all the momentum he can, send it to the bottom. And, oh no, not quite what we want to see. He's still side by side. This is racing right here, man. Going down in. It's what we want, man. Now it's just, he's really respectful with Hoytsman too. Remember last year's champion in the 97? You know, there's a lot of conversations about this new chase format, but I can guarantee you that 97 may not have liked this new format last year. It may not have benefited him for a championship, but he had the playoffs last year, was able to win the championship. As up in front of this, Delaney made the pass on Dyson, moves up to 4th place. 6 cars pretty quick today. When the nighttime happens, I always see that 6 car migrating towards the front. Happens in multiple races this year. Down on the inside again, you can see the 83 still trying to make a pass on Hoytsman. Not much has changed. Doing all he can, but he's just not able to get the car to stick. 97 went way up the racetrack that time. He's going to get a big run on the exit, though. He'll be fine. He'll have plenty of gap. Whenever you start losing ground, you really want to try and move your line around. You're willing to go to the top, try different lines. What we saw earlier from Basin and from Conklin was that they ran that, like what Justin said, the road pro line, where they go to the top and arc it down and you get this huge run on the straightaway. It's just a very hard thing to actually pull off. It gets real loose when you try it. A lot of normal folks can't really do it, but the folks that are really, really good at it tend to do really well at Richmond. You can see on your screen there, Robert Miller got by the 22 of Alex Murray now, moving up an extra spot. Yep, in the top 10. Moving up yet again, Robert Miller. Great recovery, because earlier we saw him early in the race on older tires falling back outside the top 20, but now back into the top 10 running P9 right now. And the biggest surprise of the night, when you look at this top 10, I honestly think out of everybody would be Robert Miller and Alex Murray running 9th and 10th. Great cars running in good positions today. I'm sure they'd love to settle out a good top 5, top 10 finish. They're in position to do that right now, but there's a battle right behind them that's starting to get heated right now with the 26, Paul Hill. He's got it, trying to make a move on Murray for 10th, and Matthew David Wood and Sean O'Brien Jr. side by side, 2 side-by-side battles on your screen. To the inside, the 26 goes, trying to dive it in deep. Still side-by-side down the back straightaway. And I think Paul Hill's got it this time. He's going to try and clear him into turn 3, and he sure does. 65, Sean O'Brien Jr. tries to follow him through. Is up front here. Robert Miller is able to make a pass here for 8th place. Moves up past Benefield. And now he's running P8 trying to chase down Hoytsma. Got a ways to go to get there. Sean O'Brien Jr. made the pass on Murray. Matthew David Wood tries to chase him down. Every single one of the cars out here just seem to be on a different agenda. But up front, the biggest agenda change I'm seeing is Basin and Galata. That gap, it's not getting bigger. It's getting smaller. Right around 7 or 6 tenths. And that 99 is doing all he can to try and get there. He's got a ways to go to get there, but he is showing higher speed per lap than our leader. Just by half a tenth there, half a tenth there. This time, it was by just nearly identical at times that time. You can't really pick one over the other. It's so hard to make it happen. It's so close. You can see on your screen that it's just all under a tenth. You gain some here, you lose a little bit there. Let's see if it happens again. I think he's going to get a bit of a run here. Yep, big time. That time, green, it should be. Yep, green. Almost a whole tenth. So that 99 is closing up that gap on the 06. And I think that the real big competitors today, the big three you want to keep an eye on all night, would be Conklin, Galata, and Basin. Whatever their strategies are, I think we might see one of these three at the front towards the end of this race. No doubt about it. Wow, that was a really good lap for Galata, up almost 2 tenths. Closing up already. He's gotten some good draft that helps him a little bit. Look at him. He's running a slightly different line. He's moving up like a whole car length up off the bottom of the racetrack, and it seems to be helping him ever so slightly. That time, perfectly identical. Really close to identical lap times. When it's 3/1000ths of a second, it's less than a millimeter. You can't really tell. It's close enough that it's that close. You know what I mean? So the further back you look, though, you're seeing battles all over the racetrack. Benefield, for example, is right now, I think, the fastest car, one of the faster cars that is out there on the racetrack. I think he's definitely running at speeds that are close to the. A lot of cars are swapping fastest laps. That's the point I'm saying. It's not constant every single lap. We had Roman, we had Miller, we had Benefield run a fast lap last time by. Let's see what it is this particular lap. You're looking at Miller right here in the 15. He's trying to chase down Roman, and he's got that speed to do it. He's running a really good race so far in that 15 machine. Robert Miller. He definitely had the fastest lap that time again. So Robert Miller, keep an eye on that 15. He has real good long run speed. Can we go on board with that 15 for a lap? I'd like to be able to see what he sees just for a lap. Let's give it a try. So you see you're up in 5th gear. You're going to bump it down to 4th gear, get the car to rotate. You want to turn very lightly. You want to stay on the bottom of the racetrack. Let the car do the work. Get on the throttle when you can. Save the car because it really does like to snap loose down to the back straightaway into turn 3. I'm going to do the same thing down to 4th gear. Stay right on that yellow line. Keep that left side tires there. Be patient under the throttle. Get back into it up to 5th. And that is a lap how you go around Richmond once you're fully into the run. And he's doing a great job keeping the car consistent, lap in and lap out, and consistency is what wins races. And I think he's showing good speed here too. Again, fastest lap of the the round, I believe, that time by. We're going to keep looking. Top guys still are showing a lot more speed too, but Galata actually fell off the pace. Something happened up front. Galata lost a few tenths. Just past halfway in the race, 99 falling off a little bit. Might have some more fall off. Okay, looks like we got Benefield and another car real close to each other. Let's see who that is. Yep, right here you can see this little gaggle of cars. Sean O'Brien Jr., what a day. Up to 9th for the 65 machine. You don't see 65 up towards the top 10 very often in these races. But he's doing a good job running P9. He must feel pretty dang good. 65 in 9th, trying to chase up to that 97. He might go for 8th. '26 of Paul Hill making a move back behind this as well on Benefield. 26 of Paul Hill is able to make that pass work. Benefield falling off the pace outside the top 10. Must be having a problem in that 83 machine. That's not normal for him. He's a driver we expect to see in the top 5 a lot of the time. He's really quick as of late and just unfortunately falling out of the top 10 today. We'll see if he's able to get a recovery going in the second half of this one. You see Hastings on your screen trying to get to the inside of Tucker. You also see Mesnard in the 73 on the very top side. Remember, he was working the top side whenever he made contact, I believe, with Casey Graves earlier in the run, where they brought out the caution right about here. Luckily, both cars are still on the race. Oh, no, Casey Graves is out of the race, actually. But that 73 continues on. 31 cars out on the racetrack, and out of those 31 cars, I believe that we only have really... looks like 27 cars on the lead lap. Side by side on your screen now, Alex Murray and Nolan Hodgson. That's the 13th place spot. Nolan's trying to make the pass on the bottom. It looks like he'll get that done in that Iowa machine. It's really like that Iowa side. Pretty dang cool. But up a little bit further in the road, you see Robert Miller. Remember, he was running fastest laps of the race. Well, he and Vroman are now trading those laps as they both try to chase down the 41. Look here, got lap traffic in the way. That's Cliff Mullins in the 44. 95 gets down to the bottom. 15's going to go a lane up and trying to get by him. But Miller is showing really good speed here. I like what I'm seeing out of this 15. If he's able to get the track position, I'd like to see how he does against Collada, Conklin, and Basin and those folks. I think track position would be key, though, to be able to win the race for that 15. He needs to be able to obtain it any way possible. But if so, he might have a car to win. 20 more laps to go this time buying the stage. We're getting down to the end of this. And you can see Basin up to second and 2/10. Galata was gaining for a short while, but that while is over. Now Conklin gaining on Galata for second. And I think we got a lot more time before the end of the stage, but you can see the gaps on your screen. Big gap there, short, 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 and it's just keep on going. Now, if you're the 15, you just made a pass on Vroman. He just got around him, so he's up to 6th. Now, your next car is about 6 or 5 tenths up the road. Now, whether Miller gets to Dyson, I don't think that's going to happen. But if he does, that just shows extra speed in that 15. He's trying to get there, and you can see the 41 running the top line. You can see Delaney up there as well. Both cars showing a lot of speed. So it looks like that we might be having Justin joining us back here shortly. It's interesting to see. We'll find out. Down the back straightaway, what I could say is that 15 has really surprised me today. Like seeing Robert Miller have the speed. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it makes me smile. Love seeing it. 41 making a move on the 6 up in front of this, though, for the 4th place spot. Down to the inside, easy pass. 41 was able to make that look very easy. Conklin has brought back up to the back bumper in Galata. Remember, we talked about this. 17's on older tires than the 99. But the 99 has burnt his stuff up. 17 has saved his tires slightly better. And it's going to open the door for that 17 to try and make a Ryko 1-2 there for RFK and Ryko. Dylan Basin and Sean Conklin have taken over the full-length Cup Challenge world, really. You don't get to see that every day. And they're just doing a great job as teammates, but right now that 99 is trying to hold them off. He'd like to be able to get the 9 stage points there. But that 17's showing the nose. He's doing all he can to try and say, hey, I'm going to probably go for it. Still looking to the outside. He's going to be there on the exit of turn 4. Side by side for second. Down that straightaway. 99's trying to pressure him up towards the wall. Not enough room to make that work. 17 still on the top side. 99 slides it into the corner. This is the battle for second. Down the back straightaway, side by side, even. Conklin on the top with older tires, 99 on the bottom with newer tires. And Conklin has just done a phenomenal job of keeping those tires on that car as the 99's real loose, loses the position, falls back to 3rd, and maybe might lose 4th. Miller got around Delaney while that was all going on. So Miller moves up. Man, that 15 car is living the high life. He's gotten up now to the back bumper of Galata and Dyson. So that 15 of Miller might be able to pull off a 3rd place finish if he's able to make quick work of the 99 and the 41. Getting there slowly but surely. Stage is at, oh, Matthew David Wood sitting sideways in the infield grass. Caution is out. And I think that might be the stage because it's within 10 laps to go. Yep, so we got a new rule in the full-length Cup Challenge. If a caution comes out with 10 laps to go or less, the stage is over. So your stage results are Basin, Conklin, Dyson. I think the rest will show up on the screen here in a second, but let's see what happened to the 16. Got loose and just Wrecked it right there on the front straightaway, sideways in the grass, no contact, but that will be the stage. Matthew David Wood bringing it out. Let's see if we can take a look at our top 10 after that run. You can see it's Basin, Conklin, and Dyson, a bunch of ends there. Got Miller, Galata, Delaney, Vroman, Duggar, Hoytsma, and Sean O'Brien Jr. getting 10th place. I believe this will be the stage, unless they are telling us otherwise. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick step aside. Cars are going to come down pit road, change tires. Nobody's going to be doing any strategy differently. They're going to come down, take 4 tires and gas, and by that point, we'll be right back ready for the start of our final stage here from Richmond. You're watching Maconi Entertainment Full-Length Cup Challenge. We'll return shortly.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience.
So it looks like that was not the stage, folks. That was not the stage. 3 cars stay out on the racetrack. Jose Medina, Paul Hill, and Joseph Galata. Everyone else came down pit road, and we're going to be doing a short little shootout. Bad restart for the 99. Big wiggle. Now Paul Hill on the outside. Where did he come from? Trying to make it work, but look at the 17 with the fresh tires on the top side. 3 wide. Contact from Jose Medina puts Dyson in the wall. Big crash on the back straightaway. Multiple cars. See Tucker sliding. Hutchinson around. More cars sliding in the back of the field. And we got ourselves the end of the stage now. Good God. You can see the stage results on your screen. Galata, Hill, Conklin, Medina 4th. Basin, Dyson, Hoytsma, Miller, Delaney, and Vroman. If they went by the moment of caution, I'm not sure what they're going to go by, but that's what we see on the screen. Let's take a look and see what on earth happened here. The 40 car Jose Medina is going to be the car to watch. Bad restart there, unfortunate. Big checkup from the 06. See, they're trying to get around as much as they can. 3 wide behind him. 40 car slides up the hill. Dyson's up there. They make contact, sends him sideways. Sliding down the back straightaway. 40 car heavy into the inside wall in front of the 19. we're going to want to keep an eye there. I think 3 cars were totally involved in that one. 3 or 4, rather. So, again, Jose Medina, the one that had the contact there with the 41 of Dyson. Gonna have to look at it here. Look at that 41 and the 15 there. 40 car goes up, touches the 41. 15 hits the back bumper of the 41. Fast car with damage. 19's around. 36, the 73, all with damage. And that does bring out the yellow and the end of the stage. I am speechless. That is wild. And the stage win at the end of all that, I believe, is going to go the way of Galata. Or we'll have to go back and look at that again. I'm not sure. Let me go back and look at that again. We're going to have to triple check that again. It is all over the board. It's so hard to be able to tell this from the actual system on the restart. What a run and what a situation that they were in. Paul Hill was there. Galata is there. 17 had a fast car. But it looks like... yeah, 17, I think Conklin got it. Conklin ended up catching the pace car first. So it may have been Conklin with the win there on the stage. So, man, we got a lot of stories going on in this one. I don't think anybody's going to go down pit road outside of those that got the damage. So really, really rough situations for Robert Miller. 19 of Hutchinson involved. The 36 of Tucker not having a great run there. Just unfortunate for those drivers who stayed out. Pitting may have been the right choice, but I'm just stunned that that was not the stage. Oh, man. Now that it is the stage, we're going to get the restart probably with a few less laps than we were expecting. Cars are getting doubled up for the restart this time. 1 to go, I believe. I've been wrong before. Let me check. 1 to go. Yep, we are good. Side by side, again, your top 10 running order this time. Basin, Delaney, Vroman, Duggar now to the top 5. Sean O'Brien Jr. to 5th. Adam Benefield 6th. 7th, Neil Pearson. 8th, Nolan Hodgson. Tanner Marty up to 9th. Good run for him so far, if he's able to hang on. And Alex Murray sitting P10. Pace car on pit road. Leaders through that restart zone. And we're going to get back underway right now. The 17 of Conklin trying to make it 3 wide further back in the pack, trying to make his way from the back to the front. There's a long way to go. He's already sitting at 3 wide in places as the battle is for second. See the 6 car Delaney up front, making the outside line work. And now Jonathan Delaney, who used to run in the Coke Series, has now moved up to P2. You also see Duggar there, P3, Roman P4, Benefield P5. Man, 17 is carving it through this field. There's contact 3 wide back there. Good Lord, look at this mess. So is the 97 of Hoytsman. Oh, there he goes. He's spinning right in front of the field. The 36 is around. The 17's in it. Williams is in it. Hoytsman's in it. William Owens also involved. Tucker, second big wreck in a row. 17 was really pushing hard on the top and made contact, got around. Let's take a look and see what happened there. One of the fastest cars all day. Running with Stephen Williams. William Owens. See that there on the top? 17 just got loose. No contact from anybody else. 17 just got loose on the outside. Right on board with the 17, you'll see the same thing. Let's take a look at that. Hate to see that happen. He had such a fast car today. All it takes is one slight slip, and then he got big damage. Going to the top. Ripping it. Trying to make it work. Slick right here, and just too much. Big damage to the right side. Left side, both sides of the car just hit real hard. Left side's splitter's not in the right position. He's got a lot of damage to fix on that 17. Especially the left front, where it's cracked on the left front. Not necessarily what you want to see out of the 17, but more cars that were involved there. I saw a total of 7 cars that had some sort of damage from that. Pit road says closed, but it looks like Vroman's on pit road right now. Vroman in the 95 goes down pit road. Man, this is just chaos right now here. You know, I think right now the biggest thing we could say is that strategy is going to be everything. The cars are out there. Some cars came down pit road. You can see all those on the left side of your screen with the word pit next to it, or the pit time. Folks on pit road, Conklin definitely coming down. Hutchinson, those were involved in the wreck. They're going to need to get a lot of that damage fixed quickly. And the further up you go, it looks like 16 cars stayed out on the racetrack total. Devin Madero's first one who has stayed out on the racetrack in the last, they're back in 16th. So, now, the question is, what does Delaney have for basing? Now that Delaney's got the track position, Jonathan Delaney, he's one of these guys that we've seen in the past show up at nighttime. And to coin a phrase, it's nighttime is the right time. And the person who said that, Larry McReynolds, he loves saying that phrase. That 6 car is in the right position. It's dark outside. He's one of those drivers that show up at the end of the races. He's not necessarily always there up front in the early parts, but he shows up when it's needed. And exactly that's how it works. I mean, we go back to the Coke 600. You saw Basin and Delaney racing each other for that race. Same thing happening here. All-star race, same story. Basin and Delaney. So it's a pretty cool couple cars up front. And then Duggar, what a night for him. 10 car, sitting P3, podium position. Don't get a chance to be up there at going for wins that often, but top 3 podium again. He's been in the top 3 in the past. Not a bad run for him. Maybe he might be able to step it up a little bit and end up in the top spot if he gets the right circumstances falling his way. Side by side for the restart. Got 1 to go this time. Adam Benefiel has recovered well, back up to 4th place. He was falling back early in the long run, but now he's sitting up here and he's gotten in the right position, avoided the chaos, and sitting P4 right now, right behind Delaney on the outside. I'm excited to see this restart. 06 is definitely going to get a good jump. That the way they can jump these restarts here is straight up robbery, but it just works out. Watch this 06. Watch how good of a jump he's going to get on the 6. Here we go. Through the restart zone. Bam, gone. Not even a chance for the 6. Into turn number 1. Look at Duggar there trying to go for P2. Further back, you got 3 wide battles throughout the field. Down the back straightaway. Cars just trying to navigate the traffic. There's a lot of it. Big loser on that restart, unfortunately, is Corey Moore. He's lost like 4 or 5 spots on that lap alone. Falling back. Middle 3 wide. Ended up falling back quite a bit. Double file for the majority of the top 10 now. I don't see anybody jumping 3 wide up front, but in the back you still see it from place to place. Top 3 have changed just slightly. Benefiel has made his way from 4th to 3rd. Now trying to close in on the back bumper of Delaney. Man, hitting the wall is just a commonality. You saw like 5 cars hit the wall that time. Cruel on the top side trying to get around Galata. Galata has so much speed in that car. Trying to make the bottom line work on Hastings now. Again, this 99 Galata is right now sitting P10, going for P9. Next on his list is at 62 Neil Pearson. 99 is on a march to the front. And I gotta let folks know that Sean Conklin, after that accident, has not gained much ground since. He's running P22 right now, and a long way to go to get back up to the front. But he is still having positive momentum, just not quite as much as we saw early in the race. I think that car is pretty damaged pretty heavily, and the left front still has some damage, so he's just going to have to ride around at this point and hope for a couple cautions to get that damage repaired. He's going to need it. Further forward, Paul Hill making a move on the 62. This is for the 9th place spot. He's able to make that pass work. And that 26 of Paul Hill trying to chase down a side-by-side battle in front of him. The 99 of Galata using the outside line momentum to go around Alex Murray in the 22. He's up to 7th now, going for 6th around the 12 of Nolan Hodgson. Down to the inside, not quite enough. Got the nose cut off. 99's going to have to re-strategize, find a way around the 12. But that 99 is so loose. He's pushing the car so hard. Look at how deep he dives it into turn 3. He's able to keep that car on the bottom of the racetrack. It's just loose. Yeah, that thing just does not like sticking. Later in the run. Early run, oh boy, he's able to keep it on the track. But we saw earlier when that car went out long and he pushed hard, he started getting loose and he fell back. Almost to 4th place by the end of that stage. Now, going to the outside of Sean O'Brien Jr. He got by Nolan, got by Sean. Now he's trying to catch up to Alan Duggar. This is all happening so fast. 99's just pushing the car. He ain't saving much at all. He's just trying to get back the track position he lost. Take advantage of what you got while you can. Murray on the top, trying to do the same thing. At 22, trying to get around the 12 of Nolan Hodgson. That is for the 7th place spot. And it looks like he's going to be able to make that happen. And now he's going for 6th behind Sean O'Brien Jr. Alan Duggar and Galata have gotten closer, and even so. As back here, the 17 has continued to march forward. He's up to 19th, but he has not gained a lot of spots at all. In the last 10, he's only up 4 spots. So not much of a huge run there. You can see Paul Hill on the top side trying to carry momentum around the 12 of Nolan Hodgson, who's falling back the wrong direction. Up in front of that, though, Galata has made his way around Alan Duggar, the 99 on the top side. Able to make that pass work, and it looks like behind him, Paul Hill is going to make that pass work as well on Nolan Hodgson, who is having a rough run. I think he's saving tires really heavily here. Remember, he's got to make it to the end of the race now. Stage is over. We don't have any more stages. We're racing straight to the end now. It's the end game. Got to save what you got, and you don't know when cautions can come out, when it can stay green. It has been somewhat of a caution fest today. But you never know what light bulb might switch on that allows us to stay green. Here comes Murray to the inside of Sean O'Brien Jr. for position, number 6. You're on board with Murray now. Following in as close as he can get behind him. You're on board with him. He jumps up the 5th. He goes up to the top line. He's going to try and get a huge momentum run here. He's going to turn down the hill heavily as the 65 goes up the hill. And right here, he's got to run. He's going to make a move to the bottom. No, he stays top. He's going to try the top line, pinch the 65 as close as he can, get to the outside quarter panel. He's there. 65 has to change his line. And now they're going to be side by side for position heading into turn 1. 22 on the top. Still trying to slingshot around. Not quite enough. Here comes the momentum on the back straightaway. Still even, but I think that 22 is going to get him here if he's able to keep the car underneath him. 65 on the bottom, 22 on the top. Using that slingshot on the outside. Looks like he might have him cleared going in out of turn 2, I believe. Big wide entry into 1. Paul Hill's going to try and follow him through too. It's not just the 22. 65 is falling back. Paul Hill's trying the outside now. Quiet day turned to a really loud day for him. Quiet season really turned to a loud race today. Happy to see that out of Paul. Side by side further back again. See, Nolan, that's Vroom Vroom trying to go around the outside of the 12 car Nolan Hodgson, who has been falling back since the restart. I don't know what's going on with that 12 car, but this is a really rough position to get a top 10 spot. He's got to stay in that position. He cannot lose anymore if he wants to stay in a top 10 finishing spot. Single file for the majority of the top 10 after that. And you can see it on your screen. Everybody's preferring that bottom lane. Very rarely do you go to the top unless you want to build a run. It burns the tires out too. Now, the big story I'm looking at right now is that the top 2, look at the gap between Dylan Basin and Jonathan Delaney. That gap has done nothing but grow. And Delaney And both Delaney and Basin are going to have to start navigating some lap traffic cars. Cars like the 98 was involved in that wreck earlier. Again, 98 being Stephen Williams. And you see the 30 of William Owens also, who was involved in that wreck. They're going to have a couple more lap traffic to deal with. It's not as bad as you get at, let's say, Martinsville or Bristol, but it can be difficult to navigate depending on the situation that you have presented to you. You don't want to catch them at a bad point, like the entry to turn 1. Luckily, he was able to get by on the exit of turn 4 there. Battle for second. You're on board with Benefield running P3 right now, looking at the back bumper of the 6 car to Delaney. And one thing you could say about the 83 of Benefield is he wraps the bottom better than anybody else out there. You'll see how low he gets. He's right on that yellow line. The 6 car is about another 2-3 inches up higher. So the 83 is still able to wrap the bottom better than most cars I've ever seen. And that's something that I like about the 83 Benefield. He has such good car control. He keeps it where it is. He doesn't push the car too hard. I have a problem where I push my car too hard when I'm driving. But that 83 does not. He's someone who's very particular about where he puts his cars. He intentionally puts it where it is. He rarely makes mistakes, and when he does, he calls it out very quickly. Good job for him running P3. And we'll let you know when that gets closer, because it probably will. Going back here to the battle for 13s, we saw Matthew David Wood sitting sideways in the grass earlier. What we thought was the end of stage number 2 ended up being a restart that led to a large crash for the end of stage 2. The 16 didn't have any damage when he spun out, and he's keeping it going forward. He's now moved up around Hunter Truel up to 13th, trying to get back to a top 10 running spot. As Vroman and O'Brien still race, Vroman gets by O'Brien now. O'Brien falling back and the 12 car falling back. Keep that in mind. Those are 2 cars going the wrong direction. But that 26 of Paul Hill and the 95, they're going the right direction. Paul Hill to the outside of Alex Murray. That is for the 6th place spot. Carrying momentum on the top side, carrying as much as he can. Clears them, heads down into turns 3, and now he sets his sights on Alan Duggar running P5. Again, great night for Duggar. You don't get to see that out of him every day. He's got Ryko backing, so he's got good stuff underneath him. But he's definitely improving as a driver as the season has progressed. We've seen that all year. Duggar going from being a teens driver to someone up in the low, 5th place, 6th place, 7th place. Now he's sitting on the cusp of top 5, getting into the podium positions. And he's able to lead laps for short periods of time. We haven't quite seen him up front for the win yet, but I think that day is coming. Alan Duggar consistently improving week after week for that 10 car. Then you look at the 99, driver who we know pushes his car to the absolute edge at all times, sitting P4 right now. He's got that 26 and that 10 car breathing down his neck. I think that 99's tires have started to even out. He's not as fast as we had saw earlier in the run when he was making left passes left and right. On the outside, on the bottom, didn't matter. He was able to pass it. But now, he's kind of going to have to pay the price here in just a little bit whenever he gets past. But further back, looking here at Sean O'Brien Jr. in the 65, trying to catch up to the back bumper. Neil Pearson running P10. Pearson moving up. 65 moving back. Remember, the 65 and the 12 are on the wrong way train. 62, 97, they're on the front way. They're trying to get going as far forward as they can. Same thing with Matthew David Wood. So I would be surprised if in the next 15 laps we saw Nolan Hodgson and Sean O'Brien Jr. inside the top 13. I think that's what we're seeing right here. Oh, 65 in a wall, though, big time. Yeah, he's just not going the right way at all. Might see some pit stops happening here in the next 30 to 40 laps. We'll still be here, I'd hope. That's the truth of the matter. I hope we'll still be here. God forbid we be anywhere else. See the 26 caught up to the back bumper now. As further back, Vroman has gotten to the back bumper of Alex Murray. Vroman around the inside, able to make the pass work. Vroman now, side by side. I think Murray actually is moving up here. 22 and the 95, good battle here on the screen. That's for 7th. And just in front of it, the battle is again for 4th. You can see Paul Hill just made his way around Duggar, moving up to P5 rather. These cars are all on different trajectories, different tire strategies. Whether they want to push hard early and then try and save as long as they can, push for a couple laps, save for a couple laps, or just full save the whole way. The 22 with the fresher tires. Vroman with the fresher tires, just to confirm. He has fresher tires than everybody else up here, just by a slight margin, but it's enough to where it's going to benefit him the longer the run goes. You can see the last time they came down pit road, Galata and Hill leading those that have come down the pit road the soonest outside of Vroman, who came down on 237. Contact from the 95 and the 22. Vroman and Murray making contact sends Vroman backwards. Murray's going to have to recover his car, and both cars are going to lose a little bit of time. They're going to have to try and get that back to get to the 10 car. But, you know, that's racing. Rubbin's racing. It's going to happen. You're going to see it all day long. Look at that Fruit Loop right there. 5-car, Fruit Loops. Love that paint scheme this week. Brought it up in pre-race. And got to say, that 5-car, anytime you see a Fruit Loop car out there, it always makes me smile. It's kind of funny. On the back bumper, Tanner Marty now. And just still trying all he can to have a good day. He's running P16 right now. Tanner Marty, P15. We're going to move up a little bit. Got a little bit of a side-by-side battle that just ended. The 10-car of Alan Duggar has fallen back. Vroman was able to make his way around. And now take a look at Paul Hill and Joseph Galata. That's for the 4th place spot. Hill on the top side. He's having a great night tonight, Paul Hill is. Great long run speed out of the 26. Moves up to P4, and now he's trying to chase down Adam Benefield. He's got a full second to try and chase him down. Galata's probably going to start falling back now. The longer the run has gone, he loses his tire, and he starts falling off the pace. And I think we're seeing that right now. He's still fast on the short run, way faster than what most folks can run, but still, he's paying the price right now for the fast laps early. We saw Galata last year here at Richmond have a great race car and a great race. He just needs to have a circumstance go his way, caution that's timed perfectly, and he might have a shot here at the win. But he's got to be in position to make that happen, and it's so difficult to be in the right place. And look at Paul Hill just in front of this. He has cut that second gap between him and Benefield down to a half second, just like that. 26, I think, is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Paul Hill, what exactly is going on with him? He is running just fantastic lap times. He's running lap times that were almost half a tenth faster than Basin. That's awesome. Good for him. Paul Hill showing some speed. He's just got to get the track position now. As you see Galata falling back again, Vroman makes his way down to the inside around him, and Galata's paying the price for his fast laps early. Look at Basin. Oh, look, contact with a lap car there. We saw that 40 car Jose Medina at the end of stage 2 when he made contact with cars. Had a little bit of an incident there on a big one on the restart. Made contact with the 06 of the leader. And I think Paul Hill, I mean, I really like what I'm seeing out of this 26 car. His lap times, can we pull up a comparison between Basin and Hill for a moment? Look at that. You don't get that every day. You don't get a chance to be faster than one of the pros every single day. He's showing it right now, gaining about a little less than a tenth, a little over half a tenth on average per lap. This time by, I think it may have been worse because he's following in behind Benefield. Oh, no, it was just fine, still gaining. Following behind a driver and still gaining. Now, getting around a car is difficult. You can definitely close up to him, but getting around him's the hard part. He's going to have to gain momentum. But the 83 does some good car placement. Again, one of the best car placements I've seen out of a driver. Right where he needs to be. And now the 26 is able to dive it down to the inside, make that pass cleanly. 83 is probably going to let him go. He knows he's a little faster. 83 is showing some respect there to the 26 of Paul Hill. And Paul Hill deserves that respect. He's a fantastic driver, someone who's well regarded in this series. People look at him with the, a lot of respect. And he's someone who's somewhat of a journeyman. He's able to know the folks. He's very kind. People like him a lot. And I can tell you right now, Paul Hill's in a position where he's probably having one of the best races of the year for that 2016. He's someone who's been able to win on the big super speedways in the past. He has cars that are fast enough to win races, and we see that today, running faster lap times than the leader sometimes. That time for sure. As we see pit stops, Galata, one of the cars that pushed his tires as far as they could, is first on pit road. Pit stop cycles have begun. Galata being the first one on pit road the moment his tires started falling off. But look at this. Paul Hill has closed the gap on that 6 machine. He's there. He's going to the inside for the position now. And it looks like Paul Hill on the bottom is somehow, some way, some shape, some form going to make that pass. And Paul Hill goes up to P2. What a drive. What an absolute drive from Paul Hill. But now, here's the hard part. He's got to drive 3 seconds to catch up to the back bumper of Basin. He's got to somehow get 3 seconds down faster than Basin, and that's going to take a long time. I think his passing time is going to start coming to a close. Conklin on pit road. Tucker on pit road. More cars choosing the head down as Paul Hill now will solidify P2. Further back, you're looking at the 97. This is Lucas Hoitzma, the 22 of Alex Murray, and the 12 car Nolan Hodgson. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th. And remember, a lot of cars came down pit road. Galata, for example, is one of them. Because Galata's on pit road, he's gaining a lot of time back every lap right now. The 99 is driving the wheels off that car right now. He has to. You have to gain all you can while you have the fresh tires. And Galata, he doesn't have much traffic to deal with. Not at all as we're looking at this battle with Murray and Hoitzma. These guys got to think about when they're coming down pit road. If it stays green, this is going to be heavily benefit towards Galata. Oh, pit road problem. Truel, 71 Hunter Truel. He tried to get down to pit road, wasn't able to do it, and he has to drive back around another lap. So the lap before, he's planning on coming down pit road this time. He was running in the top 15, I believe. Anderson on pit road from 16. But that's 71 trying to go to pit road this time. Look at this. And he missed the pit cone commitment, and he had to keep on going. I think he thought the pit road commitment line was where it is today. I don't think so. He's on pit road now. Gonna take his 4 tires and fuel. Once he's good on the fuel number, he'll be rolling off. And the 99 has now caught some traffic. He's going to be looking so different than these cars around the 99. If we could, for a quick moment, take a look here. This is a car with fresh tires compared to everyone around him on older tires. Cut up to Sean O'Brien Jr. Guess what? He's on the back bumper. He's going to make a move to the inside because he can do that. He's got so much more grip in that 99, but he doesn't want to catch him in the worst spots, which is on exit and on entry. You want to pass him as much as you can on the straights and in the center of the corner. Not having much luck with where he's running into him right now. Side by side in front of him, that's not going to help him out at all. He's going to be 3 wide on the exit of turn 4. See, all this ground he's gaining back is benefiting him now. Whenever they're able to come down pit road, the 99 might even have the lead with how much time he's gaining. It just depends on if this pace is able to continue. And what we've seen from the 99 is he burns the tires up with how fast he runs. But clean air is king. If he's able to get it, he might have a shot. You never know. But look how fast he is compared to those cars around him. Nolan Hodgson sitting still, sitting duck, just not even able to defend at all. Gone. Up front, Paul Hill has gained a little over half a second on the leader. And Hill's catching Basin. Absolutely. Basin might be on pit road here soon. He's already... No, I don't think so quite yet. It's so close between Hill and Basin, but the lap times are there. You can see the differences. Hill is just running amazing lap times right now. 0.3 of a second that last time by. Phenomenal speed out of, oh, big hit into the wall for the 98 of Williams. Able to get up and out of the way. But now the 99 of Galata, he has gotten back all the way to just behind the 6 car of Delaney, who's running 4th, and Roman, who's running in 3rd. Benefield and Duggar right behind them, battling side by side for position. Duggar trying to move up on Benefield. The 99 just flies by these guys, trying to get his lap back. Look at the 83 right here. Hang on a minute. The 83, let's see if we can find it. There we go. He's doing all he can to try and get by, but unfortunately the 10 car, oh, Basin Pit Road. New leader Paul Hill has inherited that. And with him on pit road, that ground that he was gaining is over. I don't think he's got it anymore. Now, when this all cycles through, we're going to see how this all stacks up. 10 car coming on pit road. Duggar hits it. Miller hits it. Galata would be the eventual leader. He's running P18 right now. He's almost to the point to unlap himself. He's going to unlap himself here, which is a huge benefit for him. He sure does. Back up on the lead lap. It's going to help him a lot, up to 17th. More cars are going to get passed here by the 99 here in a second. A lot more cars on pit road. More. Benefield, Hastings. A lot of changes. Oh my goodness. With the 99, we're going to have to see how he stacks up, because the next car who's trying to chase him down, John Conklin, believe it or not, who's running P13, who has been out there. Can we look at the last time they came down pit road? So both cars pitted on the same lap, it looks like. So even with all that damage from the 17, he's still able to maintain, but not quite catch Galata at this time. You can see 11th and 12th position there. Jose Galata, 280. Oh, hold on. That's 288 and 287. 1 lap difference there. So, and Conklin has slight 1 lap fresher tires than Galata. That's something to keep in mind. Delaney leading this thing as Paul Hill came down pit road. He's back out on the racetrack. This is going to be hard to sort out, folks, because now there's people on so many different strategies, different tires, how long they've been out. And because of that, it's going to benefit. It's kind of like a, you can't really predict it because you got to keep the car going straight. Here is a unlapping going on, I think. 06 getting about a 17. That's for position, rather. For position. Moving up to P12. This will be for the eventual lead. You see Galata there, Basin there. That is first and second eventual. Once everyone pits, that's what we're looking at. Pitting early has given Galata from 8th place all the way to the lead with a few seconds to spare. For now. For now. Because good Lord, things are going to change. Delaney, the leader. Nolan Hodgson sitting there P2 side by side for the current lead. Paul Hill trying to unlap himself, sitting there just behind him, going to make it 3 wide. Around the outside, doesn't even need to bother. Gets by him, side by side for the lead still. Hoytsma sitting in the wings. But Delaney able to lead some laps, and so is Nolan Hodgson in the 12. Now, I wonder what the strategy the 6 and the 12 are trying to pull here, because now that we know how important tires are, I think there's a lot of cars out there that are just going to run until they absolutely can't run no more. Now that we had Basin come down pit road, Galata come down pit road, it's the only thing that they can really do. And look at this little log jam that's happening right in front of the leader. Tucker got real loose, almost caused a crash. Luckily able to keep it going. 83's trying to bob his weave through there. Same thing with the 10. It's highway traffic in Atlanta, okay? That's what it is. Highway Atlanta traffic. Those folks going 110 in the left lane, you're going 65 in the right trying to stay alive. Good God. Just so many different speeds. Here comes the 36, Tucker down to the inside. Nolan trying to wrap the bottom. He's going to get around him. Nolan Hodgson, the current leader. He just got the 36 unlapped himself there. And the gap from Galata to Conklin is now getting even closer. Basin, who was the leader before this pit cycle, has made his way around Galata. And he's gained 2 seconds on him. The speed out of Dylan Basin. Phenomenal. Great drive from Dylan there to get up past Galata. And now it's essentially Conklin and Basin's race to lose here. Oh, big checkups there. 65 is in the way. He's trying to make his way through the lap traffic, but it's a difficult task to do. Neil Pearson there in the 62. He's going to have to get around. He's running P4 right now. Wow, he passed him under green P4. That is phenomenal driving. Good speed out of Basin. He's going to catch the leaders at this pace. 6-car pit road. Look out. Oh, he's sliding. He's loose. He's spinning it out on the pit road entry. I think he made it. But I don't know, man. That was not pretty. That was not, I don't think that was optimal. Two more cars out there right now. It's Hodgson and Hoytsma. 2 more cars stayed out but got passed. And now Basin's just got to pass 2 more cars, and it's less than a second. Whoa, 81! The Hastings almost wrecked the car. Him and Stone, side by side, sliding the car. Right in front of the 06. Dangerous spot for the car to be. Man, what a save from the 81. Just really had to check up big time to avoid contact. Now, looking at this race, Hodgson, who had the lead, is just lost it. New leader, Dylan Basin, got the lap, and he is back on first place position after the cycle. That is the end of the cycle for now. Now it's all about when did you come down pit road? Did you save any? And can you catch the 06? It's going to be hard. He has run some of the fastest laps of the race in the last 15 laps. I'd be surprised if anyone who stayed out is able to catch the 06 after all this is said and done. Good judge to see how that would go is by looking at Jonathan Delaney in the 6 car. Hoytsma on pit road now. But if you look at the 6 car of Delaney, he came down pit road. Remember, he had a little rough entry, but he still made it. I don't think he had any penalties, so he's still out there. He's a lap down. That's how much time you can lose just by getting fresh tires. And he's got to catch the 06, who is crossing the start-finish line right now. He's got so much ground he's got to chase down. And Conklin, what a strategy he pulled. That 17 car had a strategy that seems to be working out for him. He pitted early as well. He was running back in the back 20s with the damage on the left front. Pitted early, caught as much as he could back. And look at him now, running top 5 speeds, one of the fastest cars all day. With damage, now top 5 car still. That just shows how good he is. It's phenomenal. Sometimes he makes mistakes. He saw him get loose off 4 earlier for the contact, but he's going to have a problem with tires for a while, I think. Take a look here at this 5 car. Bobby Anderson in the 5 car. He's the owner of the league. He's fast. He's got the Fruit Loop car. He's sitting right now in front of the 73 of Mesnard. But Mesnard's lap down. The difference is Bobby Anderson's lead lap top 10. And honestly, that's a great day for him. He needs to get top 10s a lot. And that's a good day if he's able to hang on to it. Benefield now making a pass there, going back to get 7th away from Bobby. Bobby falls back to 8th. He's got a couple more cars chasing him down, too. Got Duggar there, Truel, Miller, Moore. These guys are all going to try and catch him down, too. Pressure tires is a really big deal. If we could add on the ticker just the last lap they pit, would it be, or how long they've been on the stint, if we have that ability, I think it would be helpful. Okay, so we're going to say last lap that they last pit. So that's what we got. You can see 304 for Paul Hill, 304 for Nicholas Vroman, 301 for Basin. So not much of a difference there between those guys. But if you go back further, Matthew David Wood has 309. He's a lap down. You look at 316, that's Jonathan Delaney. 313, that's Alex Murray. 316, 319 for Lucas Hoitzma. Their time they got to gain is a lot greater than those that pitted early. And I don't know if they're going to be able to make that up. It'd be phenomenal to see it, and God, it'd be fun to see. But it'd have to take a true test of the car and driver to be able to make that work under green flag conditions. How close is Matthew David Wood to the leader, you might ask? Matthew David Wood, who's the last car on the lead, one lap down, the first car one lap down, is right on the back bumper of the 06. So you can see that he would have to gain a full lap in 73 laps. Oh, whoa, Basin blinking. That's dangerous. Don't want to lose a race that way. Yeah, suboptimal there. Do not want that at all. 16 car of Wood. If he's able to get by the 06, he'll be back on the lead lap. Fresher tires. And at that point, it's up to him. He's going to try and run a full 22, 21 second gap. A full lap around this place to try and win this race. And he's getting around the outside now. And I don't know if it's possible, but he's in the best position to do it if it is possible. Everybody else behind him's in a worse spot. Alex Murray, Brandon Hastings, Jonathan Delaney, Tucker, Hoitzma, Pearson. These guys were hoping for a caution. It did not come, and because of that, they are in a really rough position right now. And the 06 pretty much could be on cruise control. He's just going to maintain his pace and not burn his tires up. And if Basin does those things, he's going to come home victorious after today. But Paul Hill, again, I'm really looking at that 26 car. I don't know. That's first and second. You see Galata and Basin, nearly identical, but leaning towards negative. Yeah, not gaining time. Galata's losing time on Basin. That's pretty much a done deal. Paul Hill, on the other hand, let's see how that looks. You're going to see on your screen here in a moment. Yep, Paul Hill, if possible. Basin to Paul Hill. I think Paul Hill has the best chance at catching him. It's the best chance we've seen all day. Look at that. A tenth and a half, tenth and a half, tenth and a half. It's happening every single lap. Hill is gaining. He's going to have a chance to do that. And Hill's got fresher tires than Basin. Remember that, too. Hill has fresher tires. The only thing that Basin's got going for him right now is a 7-second lead. That would imply, with 67 laps to go, you're going to have to save quite a bit. You're going to have to gain a certain amount per lap to be able to make this work. We're going to say that time by the gap from first to third, Paul Hill, that was not a good lap for him. I don't think so. Nearly identical. You can see that there. Hill is about 8 seconds from third place to the lead. Right around that mark. We'll say 8 seconds. So 66 laps. Make it 8 seconds. And that's going to put us... Hang on, let's try and do some math here live. Hill's got to get around Galata too, which is hard. But the good thing for Hill is that Galata is one of those drivers that burns his stuff up early. So it's going to benefit him. But he just lost a little bit of time that time because he's navigating these lap traffic cars who have fresh tires. That's going to be another thing you got to think about. The 29 Tanner Marty, he's a lap down. But he has fresher tires than Paul Hill. That's not going to help Paul Hill. He's got to have these guys go and mess with Basin, mess with Galata. He's got to go out. Hill's still, matching even, dealing with these lappers who are faster just because they have the fresher tires. So that's going to change the dynamic quite a bit. Normally, the leaders have to deal with lap traffic who they are passing. But now, the leaders have to deal with lap traffic who is passing them. Oh, man. So much chaos happening in this race. Look at Delaney there on the 6 car. He's caught the back bumper of the 16. Remember, folks, 16 was leading that strategy of staying out as long as possible. Now Delaney's going to take that over. Delaney's going by. Murray's now there, too. This little 3-car pack, they're all trying to run down Basin by the end of the race. They got 62 laps to make up that ground. They have fresher tires by a lot. But I don't think it's enough to chase down 20 seconds. They're going to need a heck of a miracle to make that happen. Paul Hill has caught the back bumper at Galata for second place. Going down to the inside now. Leaning on that left rear quarter panel. 26 enters shallow. 99 takes a wide line. And just like that, Paul Hill still side by side for that position down the back straightaway and into turn 3 and 4. Once he's by Galata, he's got to run the fastest laps of his life, but then maybe, just maybe, Paul Hill might have something for Basin. Conklin on pit road. 2-stopper. I don't know how well that's going to work out for him. It's going to be hard. Galata's possibly going to go down pit road. There's probably more cars who will come down pit road. Oh, into the wall. Who was that? That was Mesnard. Big time in the wall. Look out, folks. 73 of Mesnard still off the pace. Broken right front. Let's take a look and see what happened to the 73 here on the straightaway. See Tucker right in front. 73 with fresher tires. Caught him. Goes down to the bottom of the racetrack. I think he might get a little loose here. No, not clear. He cleared himself in front of Tucker. He's on pit road now. Day's probably going to be over after that one. Paul Hill now has to gain 6.9 seconds in 56 laps. And he's doing a great job at it. I think he might get there. Let me do some math here. All right, so if he has 6.9 laps, right? That's the goal. He's got to get 6.9 laps. 6.9 seconds, yeah, good point. And you were to divide it by the laps left, that's 55. He needs to gain 1/10. Oh, caution's out, forget about it. Galata's around, the 99, bringing out a yellow. One of the better drivers driving all day makes a mistake. Let's see what happened to the 99. Did he have help? On his own, nobody around him. Spun it out on his own. Went slow until the caution lights came on, hit the gas hard, and kept it going. And that changes everything. Pit stops are probably going to happen again. 53 laps to go. First caution. You got to come down pit road at this point. You can't stay out much longer. But remember, there's one driver who just came down pit road whose strategy is ruined now, and that, I believe, is the 17. Remember, he was in a position where he needed that to go green for it to work, and it just... He's probably going to get a wave around here, but I don't know if he's going to be... He's 1 lap down, so yep, he'll be back on the lead lap. But it will be slightly less tire advantage. 06 on pit road, nobody anywhere near him. Paul Hill and Joseph Galata, by the way, are teammates. So seeing that 26 that fast does not surprise me. They work well together at Bigfoot Chassis Collective there. Unfortunate to see the 99 go around. But caution with just 50-something laps to go. Pit road. Right now, 99's getting his stop. So is the rest of the field. 06 comes off pit road first. not much change will happen from the front row. Paul Hill there, Roman now P3, Benefield P4. Rest of the cars going off pit road 3, wide in places, almost contact with the wall. We're going to take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll get the final 50 laps here from Richmond. You're watching the Full Length Cup Challenge on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Through the restart zone, we're back underway. Basin takes the early lead now, back as we are trying to finish out this race. Bottom is going to be preferred early on, and look at Vroman. He's able to get there. New second place, Nick Vroman. Able to get there, Vroom Vroom, P2, side by side for third. You see Benefield in the 83, 26 Paul Hill on the top side. 48 laps to go when they cross the stripe. And this is going to be the battle for the win. Oh, car in the grass, that's Hunter Truel in the 71 off the pace. Look out, on track. Almost hit the 44 Cliff Mullins. They keep it going straight. Paul Hill on the top side of Benefield, still trying to make the outside line roll. And a little loose from the 83, puts the 26 up on the outside wall slightly. And look at him, he's putting his quarter panel right on that spot where you really don't want it to be. Chaos throughout the field at the moment. Getting settled in, but look at the 83. He's blinking in and out. Something's going on with Benefield's internet right now. I know he watches these. Just letting you know, buddy. Caught you blinking a couple times, pal. Going to the inside now for Paul Hill. 99 back up to the top, who's very fast. Teammates right there side by side, 26 and the 99. Man, both cars doing a great job together. 99 just seems to got the short run. 26 seems to got the long run. Basin, though, has driven away to a half a second lead over Vroman. And he just cannot look at that back in his mirror. He's got fresh tires. Nobody else has fresher tires. It's not going to be a chase anymore. It's got to be that they beat you on raw pace to pass you. And that's difficult, to say the least. And the real big news for the day is Paul Hill's performance is just phenomenal. All year long, kind of been middle of the ground. He's side by side with Delaney right now. But you go and look at Paul Hill, he's 6th in the points. His average finish all year long, let me make sure I got that right. He's finished in the top 5 4 times, top 10 13 times. But the guy just seems to be in a position this year where, to this race today, where he might have long run speed. He's hoping to stay green to the end. Everybody else around him, though, short run speed's king. They're able to do really well, so I think 26 might be in trouble in terms of the short run. Galata's trying to catch up the ground he lost. Remember, Galata was the one that brought out the caution, and he's running P3 now. P4 now. Benefited the hell out of Galata to spin out. Doesn't happen every day, but happened today. You know he's fast. He's on the back bumper of the 83, who's also very quick. Good at saving tires, but on entry, you see how much deeper Galata dives it into the corner. Able to close that gap, and he's on the outside of him. Not quite enough yet. He's close, but not quite. Single file for the majority of the field here. Way outside those Hoytsma. He's trying the very top line. Getting momentum. Oh, he hits the 15 of Miller. Contact back there in the field. We saw the 97 go way outside. Make contact with the 15, and they're still side by side. This ain't over. Hard battling back here in the back of the field. This is not even the back of the field. It's 9th and 10th. 9th and 10th. This isn't even back in the field. It just seems like that because of how far the distances work. Galata finally found a way to the bottom of Benefield. It looks like Galata still trying to go to the bottom. 83's gone on vacation. He just got back. Hope he had a good time. 99 still rocking the bottom line. It is even. It's fun. But look out, they got Jose Medina pick. Or is it going to be 3 wide? 3 wide. 40 car got up and out of the way. Respectful. Galata moves up to P3 in a race where it looked like he was going to be back in the back after the strategy not going his way, but fortune on his side. You know, you bring it with you, man. Take what you can. Outside momentum. Able to get by Benefield, and now he's trying to chase down Vroman, who is trying to chase down Basin, but it's not working. Half a second has turned into 9/10 in just a handful of laps. 34 laps to go this time by. There you go. Basin just got to run clean and green. No problems. Don't look out your mirror. Don't look in front of you. You're fine. He's won 4 races this year, trying to win his 5th. And when you look at the wins column this year, no one even has 3 wins other than him and his teammate Conklin. So this is 5 wins if he's able to hang on. But Vroman sitting right now with 2 wins. He'd love to get his 3rd win on the season in that pink car right there. Vroman's fast, we know it. He's fast week in and week out, but oh my goodness. He's got to have a lot of help to catch back up. Side by side back here between Duggar and Murray. That is for the 7th place spot. Murray on the top side, Duggar on the bottom. Look at him trying to wrap the outside, not quite enough. 22, able to make the outside line momentum work. 10 cars still trying to send it down to the bottom. And Paul Hill sitting there wishing that we would have stayed green. Look at 81 of Hastings off the pace on the inside of the racetrack. Just getting down and out of the way, letting these leaders go without any problems. Respectful racing out of the 81 of Brandon Hastings. '26 of Paul Hill catching up to the back bumper, Delaney. Remember, Delaney had made his way by Hill early in the run. The run has progressed. 26 has gotten faster, equaled out, and now even showing faster speeds than Delaney. But he's got to get by him, and getting by a car is a lot harder than catching him. He's one of the drivers who has really made a statement today, and it's just so fun to watch. So cool to see. Paul Hill, though, it's an interesting character. His average finish is actually 13.8 over his entire 71 race career with the full-length Cup Challenge that I have access to here. 71 races. He and Jonathan Delaney have the same number of races under their belt. And both cars, Delaney has an 8.5 average finish, and Paul Hill has a 13.8. But look on the racetrack. Today, Paul Hill is outperforming his average significantly, while Delaney, on the other hand, is right around where you expect him. You know, a couple spots higher, but definitely right around his average finish. So good days for both cars, but really good day for Paul Hill. Sean Conklin, on the other hand, who has had strategy not go his way, back in 15th spot, 9 seconds behind the leader, had the fastest laps early in the race. Not able to have a good run after that crash. Has not had the speed since then, but this driver here, his average finish is insane. In 26 starts, his average finish on all of them is 6th place. Phenomenal. But today, definitely not the way he wanted it to go, back in 15th. Back up towards the front again. Basin, kind of in an interesting position himself. His average finish is 10th. He's having a great day today. Going for his 4th win on the season, I believe. Let me triple check that and make sure. I believe it is fifth win, I believe. Phenomenal stuff out of that team. You see Duggar here in the 10 car falling back. Side by side with Hoytsma right now. Duggar actually has 22 starts to his name, and his average finish is 22nd. So great day for Duggar if he's able to maintain where he is. Absolutely. He's racing right now with Alex Murray in the 22 and the 97 of Hoytsma. Hoytsma actually is doing a great job today too. My goodness, it's just fun to watch. The chaos that this racing brings. Top 10 is everything. Sometimes I love to get a top 10. It's a fun little battle. And it's fun to race. It doesn't matter what position it's for these days. It's just fun to be out there. Look at this. 15 of Miller recovering from his damage he got in a big wreck on the back straightaway right there. He's right now running P10. He'd love to get a good top 5 finish today, but he's got to get a little bit better runs to be able to gain any more spots. He's got a lot of very competitive cars all around him. Vroman and Galata are not catching Basin. Not at this pace, not at this time, ain't happening. Paul Hill has gotten around Delaney. Paul Hill has gotten around Benefield. But now Paul Hill is sitting 2.9 seconds behind the leader. And I think that gap is closing. Slightly. Not much, but slightly. It's not enough to be able to catch him in 19 laps, though. So unfortunately for Paul Hill, he's going to need a miracle to go his way. You can see how close it is. It's almost identical lap times. He's going to need a lot of help to make that work. Hate to see that for him. He had such a good run going. Maybe he can get a podium, though, that's for sure. Near identical lap times with Basin. Really good speed out of Paul Hill. Very surprised today. Again, Vroman there, kind of the driver we didn't see in the top 3 at all today. His average running position has not been very good. He's been maybe 9th, 8th, 7th in that range. Hadn't seen him into the top 5 up until the end of the race. And then when that caution came out, he was in the right place at the right time. Ended up working in his favor. Now he's P2, trying to chase down a leader, not really making up much ground. But again, great day for Vroman. His recovery has been great. A little bit further back, you're seeing Alex Murray there, Hoytsma on the bottom. Again, this is for 7th place on the track. Not quite a top 5, but they do like racing for every spot, especially when you're going for a championship. I don't think that 22 is really going for a championship at this time. 97 certainly is, so he's not going to be willing to give it up that easy. I overheard on the Dale Jr. download in the past that because of the current point system, when you're running P8, P7 looks awfully attractive now versus what it used to. That's absolutely what it was. It wasn't always that way. You were content with running 8. But now you kind of want that extra point so bad because it might give you a chance to get more. And that 22 just seems to be getting great runs on the outside. He's able to do it every time. Phenomenal driving for the 22 and Murray there, trying to be defensive. And that's what you got to do in his position. He wants to maintain, have a good race, have a good showing for Precision Speed Solutions. Wonderful job. He's the owner of it, after all, doing a great job in that 22 machine. Oh, and would you look at this, folks? Paul Hill has made his way around Joseph Galata. Took him a couple laps, lost a couple tenths, but he got it done. Now he has his sights set on Vroman, who's about a second up the road. 13 laps to go. 97 still looking to the inside. These two just won't stop racing each other. Matthew David Wood in the background going up to the super line up there at the top. I like to call that Superman line because it's just like you go up there and it just feels like you're flying above everybody else. Way up there, just like, goodness, line where nobody runs. Very few do, and it's hard to make it work, but they're getting good runs. Look how high up he goes. 97 does the same thing. Trying to get the outside Superman line. That's what I'm going to call it from here now. I like it. There you go. 97's got that momentum, and it just works, man. It doesn't matter if you have great tires or not. This is just pure racing. It's not optimal by any means, but it's racing each other, and that's wonderful. 97 on Hoytsma, last year's champion, top 10 day. Got to be happy about that. Love to get a win this season, though. That 97 just has not quite gotten that win he's looking for. He's been close. Photo finishes, to be honest with you, but Benefield by inches back at Michigan, I think it was. Or Auto, yeah, it may have been Michigan. Oh, 22, big in the wall, big time wall hit. 16 of Matthew David Wood got around him, and now Murray falling back. Damage. Most certainly he's on that 22, and he's going to have to nurse that thing around for about 9 more laps. Paul Hill's closing in on Vroman. Up towards the front. Paul Hill, you're looking at the 26 running P3, running significantly faster lap times than Vroman. He is now down to, I believe, about 4 or 5 tenths from each other. And that gap is closing. 100% closing. You can see it right there. 10th a lap. Paul Hill just has such a fast long run car. It's a shame he wasn't able to actually show it tonight. I'd love to see a good battle between Hill and Basin on a long run. I think that would have been real entertaining. Taken away from a spin from Galata, unfortunately. Who will end up probably hanging on to a top 5 spot if he's able to maintain his current position. Irony. But I could say right now, Vroman just trying to maintain. He'd love to get second place today. But he'd love to win a race today. But second after all that happened, I think he'd be happy with it. We're going to hear from him if he's able to hang on either to second or third. You can see that gap slowly closing in just ever so slightly. 6 laps to go. Basin has been fantastic today. His teammate was fantastic up to the contact and the crash. But that 06 car for RFK running the Coke Series, he's right now one of the drivers going for the A Open Championship on the official series. He's going to probably get that done, too. He's real good. Him and his teammate are going head-to-head on that. 226 laps led, coming to 227 laps led this time. My goodness, 400 laps. Definitely a really good performance from Dylan Basin. Look at Murray, though. Murray's in a trouble back here in the 22. He's getting passed left and right. It looks like Miller now going back to the inside. The longer the run has gone on, the less it has been positive for that 22 machine. Back up front, second place, Paul Hill has caught the back bumper of Vroman. It's for P2, what could have been. That's all I'm thinking right now. 3 laps to go. Basin's in a comfortable spot. The last thing he wants to see is a yellow flag. 26 to the inside of the 95. Side by side, coming to get 2 laps to go this time by. Basin's got this thing in the bag, if no yellow. Down the back straightaway for the second to final time. 26, what do you got for the 95? To the inside, trying to shoot it down to the bottom. Basin comes out of turn 4 to take the white flag. 1 lap to go for Dylan Basin, who has been dominant. Him and his teammate all season long. They have been able to make it all the way around to the white flag, and the next flag will end the race as Basin heads through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Basin will somehow, someway show that he's got what it takes to win at Richmond yet again. Dylan Basin dominant win side by side to the line for second. It looks like it's Vroman just by a couple inches over Paul Hill for P2. Phenomenal finish all for the top three, but it looks like Vroman hangs on to P2 just over an inch. Wasn't much, but it was enough. And the 06, Dylan Basin was able to hang on after all the controversy and win the race here in the full-length Cup Challenge at Richmond. Your top 10, Vroman hanging on to P2, Hill just a couple 100ths of a second difference. Then you got Joseph Galata, Adam Benefield top 5 spot, Jonathan Delaney in 6th, 7th will be Lucas Hoitzma, 8th will be Alan Duggar, 9th Matthew David Wood, and Robert Miller rounds out your top 10 finishers today. 11th will be Alex Murray, followed by Neil Pearson, P12, 13th Bobby Anderson, 14th Corey Moore, 15th will be Sean Conklin, 16th Hunter Truel. Nolan Hodgson comes on 17th, with 18th being Sean O'Brien Jr. 19th will be Tanner Marty, and Devin Medeiros rounds out your top 20. 21st this afternoon, Michael S. Tucker, 1 lap down, alongside Ralph Hutchinson, also a lap down. 2 laps down for Cliff Mullins, 23rd. 24th, Jose Medina, who got some stage points. Andrew Dyson, 25th, after contact in a crash. Same with Cameron Stone, 26th. Evan Mesnor, 27th, with Brandon Hastings, 28th. 29th, Stephen Williams, and William Owens, P30. 31st will be Tyler Hunter. 32nd, Casey Graves. And finally, Jedi Taylor, after rear-ending some guy under caution, will get 33rd today. What a run. And let's go ahead and bring our victor in here. Dylan. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial here then. We'll be right back after this short break, and when we come back, we'll hear from Dylan Basin. Sit tight.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Again, Dylan Basin, the winner of tonight's race. Dylan Basin joining us now up here in the booth. You got a copy there, Dylan?
Yes, sir.
Hey, dude, you went out there and just stomped the dang yard. You went out there, dominated. Gotta ask you, man, how on earth are you able to pull the right strategies, get the cautions in the right time, and still somehow end up leading over half the laps?
Well, honestly, a lot of it, I learned from NIS this week what pit strategies work, which ones don't. So I came in here with already kind of a set plan if the yellows came out at a good time, and thankfully they did. So the car was great. I was struggling a little bit to keep my right rear on it compared to Sean. He was doing a better job with that. But when he got in the trouble back there, I knew it was kind of, I just had to maintain track position at that point and not get too ahead of myself. So, yeah, I'm glad it kept staying green toward the end because I feel like my mid run was where I really gained the most time. Long run, I may not have been the best, but 30, 40 laps before that, I just felt like I was so dang good.
We saw you take a couple strategies where you ended up coming down pit road when other cars chose to stay out a couple times. You had to go through the whole field to try and get from the back to the front. Your teammate did the same, had an incident there on the front straightaway that took him out of contention. But when you were going from the back to the front, did you feel like Superman, or how'd that feel behind the wheel, out of curiosity?
Yeah, it does feel pretty insane. I feel like Richmond is one of the few tracks where fall off really happens and heat cycles don't save the guys on old tires. So you're coming in there going a second faster a lap and you're all packed together with 30 other cars. So it gets pretty stressful, especially when you're trying to make passes in the third lane where there's not a whole lot of grip short run. But yeah, you got to be patient with it, but you also got to get moving because eventually the tires may equal out. So it's just a bunch of mind games.
Well, again, Dylan, I appreciate you coming up and talking with us. Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
The usual, my family. Thank you guys for watching. RFK Racing, Red Cup Performance. Thanks to you guys for putting on this broadcast, and to the league owners for putting this up.
Heck yeah, man. It was fun to watch you out there stomp the yard yet again. And I believe, if I look at this correctly, looking here at the point standings, I believe that is your 5th win on the season, which is a pretty dang good feat to have. So good job for you there, Dylan. Thanks for talking with us.
Yes, thank you.
All right, that was Dylan Basin. We're going to go ahead and bring in our second place finisher by inches. Nicholas Roman was able to take P2. Hey, Nick, you got a copy?
Hello?
I hear you loud and clear, buddy.
You got me? Hello?
Hear you. Go ahead.
I got you. Hello. Hi.
All right. Let's hear what you got, Bal. How did you feel about today?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. This is my first laps here this week. Didn't do any practice. Didn't do any races. Been playing a game called Gray Zone. You ever play Gray Zone? Excellent game. Been playing that. Forget iRacing. I'm retiring other than this league. To finish P2 to a Coke driver on the Coke stuff and everything is pretty cool. I'll take it. P2, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was fun to watch you too there at the end. You had Paul Hill catching you just little by little. And once he finally got there, side by side of the line, do you like those photo finishes when you're up front?
I always like taking photos, Kurt. You want me to send you a photo later?
It depends. I hope it's the finish. That's about it.
It's gonna be a finish, all right.
Oh, good God. Oh, man, I need some alcoholic beverages after that one. Well, anyway, Roman, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Shout out Gray Zone, man. Great game. Shout out everybody on track, I guess. You guys are cool. Shout out to you in the booth, man. You're awesome. Hope the kid and the wife's doing well.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to http://TCSP.gg for the awesome set this week. Again, no practice. Just kind of rolled up in here and got a B2, and we'll take it.
Heck yeah, man. Always an entertaining interview with you, Roman. That's for sure. And congratulations on the top 3 podium. And hopefully we'll see you next week. All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Well, that was P2. And now the real story of the whole race, and really in regards to like real surprise, Paul Hill up here in the booth. Gotta say, you got a copy there first there, Paul?
I got you.
Man, I gotta say, you were on rails faster than anybody on the long run. Just unfortunate timing with that last caution with Galata, but you found your way back all the way to P3 once the long run started to get longer and inches away from P2. What did you need to be able to get a little bit further forward today?
20 more laps there on that last run, to be honest with you. I felt pretty good long run. I'm not very fast short run here. You could give me the fastest short run car possible, and I would still be slower than everybody else. I just can't seem to make pace for the way that I drive around here, but it seems to do me very well over long distances. So I just tried to play into that strength, and the cars just didn't fall that way today.
Yeah, it was real entertaining to watch, man. You were one of the few people that I thought had a really dang good shot at catching up to Basin if the times lasted the right way. And not to mention, I mean, we were looking at your statistics in the past. Today was an absolutely wonderful day for you, according to how you finished P3. You raced, and by the way, I don't know if you know this, but on what's available on Sim Racer Hub, you have raced in 71 races, and your average finish is just about 14th position. Getting P3 is an absolute great day for you. How does it feel, man?
Third fiddle, I guess, is how it feels. Those Sim Racer Hub stats don't tell the whole story. I feel like,
exactly.
If things play out right, I can be up here pretty consistently. I mean, I'm no professional. I'm just a hobbyist, but I still feel like I've got the pace under the right circumstances. The races go long, it tends to play into my hand. It was a good day. Disappointed a little bit. I would have loved to actually have this play out and get a win here, but take what you can get, right? Take what you can get. So,
absolutely, I hear you loud and clear on that one, there, Paul. Anybody you want to shout out before we let you go for the end of the day?
Yeah, everyone over at Bigfoot Chassis Collective that works with us, and you guys up in the booth, everyone in the league, Dent Slayer on the car, and I think that's everybody.
Well, all right, man. Thank you again so much for chatting with us, and congratulations on P3, and we'll see you next week, Paul.
Appreciate it.
You got it. Well, that is our top 3 here from Richmond, Maconi Entertainment. Justin Prince was here earlier in the afternoon, had a computer issue, so he is out of the booth at the end of the day. Left just a little before 8 o'clock. Maconi Entertainment brought you tonight's Richmond race, and really a dominant performance from the Ryco team and everybody over there in the 06 Basin, Conklin as well. Great runs, again, from Vroman and from the 26 car Paul Hill. Again, my name's Kirk Mills. Justin Prince was here for the first half of the broadcast, and Morgan Cook has been our producer, helping me all the way through, all the way to the finish. And good Lord, I am going to need some cough syrup after this one. Thank you all so much, and we'll see y'all next week when we head out to the next race for the Full Length Cup Challenge.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.